Visit monsterjam.com for event details.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Oh, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%. So we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Did you suffer through 2022 with a terrible bathroom? You wanted to make that call to Rebath in Mid-Florida. You just couldn't do it. Well, make 2023 the year that you finally do pick up that phone and let these guys show you what they can do. And what they can do is amazing. Take a bathroom that you hate, it's old, it's out of date, doesn't look great, doesn't really complement your home, and turn that into a magical spa-like environment that you begin or end every day in, and it makes you super happy. Here's the great thing. They do this with their employees. They do it in just 4 to 6 days, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. And guys, these products are simply amazing. Natural stone, travertine marble, all those beautiful colors. But it's the quality of the products that you've got to feel when you go to the showroom. 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Stop in, feel that quality, picture that in your house. That can happen. They're exceptionally good at it. Let them design a bathroom that you are going to love using their products, your ideas, their ideas. And next thing you know, their craftsmen will have it installed and you will love it. 2023 is the year that you get a new bathroom courtesy of Rebath, midfla.com.
I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we got Liz $1 million.
About a year ago, I was in a really bad accident. Nobody would help us. But when we called Mr. DeWitt and his team, they were there to help through the whole thing. I'm extremely happy with the results. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Prospective client may not obtain same or similar results.
With weather starting to warm up, it's time to update your outdoor space with Lowe's. Right now, start prepping with lawn essentials like fertilizer. Get Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed Fertilizer starting at just $32.48. And tackle outdoor cleaning with powerful electric pressure washers, starting at just $99. Visit us in-store or online to get a head start on your spring projects today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 2/23 to 3/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate that greatly, and we do have a good program for you today. We'll get you caught up on what's happening in the world. Deb's Woke News will do that around 3:20, 4 o'clock hour. Sports with our buddy Brandon Kravitz, talking a little Orlando Magic, XFL, Orlando City. Kicked off their season this week. We'll find out if they won, how they did. Trivia in the 5 o'clock hour, and of course in the 6 o'clock hour, Ross thoughts on our buddy TK Law's Ray Trinley will join us. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy alien Ross Pageant.
I misunderstood the email.
407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Find us easily on social media, Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, it's just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, every day, all day at JimColbertLive.com. That's where you can watch us through the show. Just click through for our YouTube channel, and you can do that all again at JimColbertLive.com.
It's so exciting.
It is so exciting. It is. Rarely can you watch 4 people sit and talk.
I know.
I mean, for 4 hours straight.
Stellar.
But sometimes,
with commercials.
But during those commercials, sometimes we do puppet shows.
Yes,
Ross and I do.
Yep,
Finger
yep.
puppets.
Very nice.
Yep. And Ross will be showing and flexing his shoes throughout the show.
Yeah, that's... let's just talk about that.
You want to?
Yeah, because I mean, I
knew it. As soon as I told you, I was like, yeah, that's going on.
Well, I mean, it's funny, man. I mean, here's the thing. It's not embarrassing.
What happened?
It's just kind of funny because Deb doesn't know the story.
Yeah, so we had our employee rally
Yeah, so usually that happens, like all of these festivities happen at our Christmas event, but the companies decided that they didn't want to break up the Christmas party to do like awards and stuff like that. So we separated that, and today was our employee rally, station of the year, employee accolades for sales and promotions and stuff of that nature, announcements. It's just, we all get together and eat and have a little good time.
And the company email that I got said, you are going to want to make sure that you don't miss this. Bring sneakers.
Bring your tennis shoes. Bring sneakers.
Oh, no. It didn't say tennis shoes.
Oh, it said sneakers.
It said sneakers.
Okay.
And I think that's what sent me on a different trajectory.
Okay, so you thought they were asking you to wear sneakers because of what?
I thought there was going to be... Man, as soon as I'm about to say it, it's the dumbest thing I've done in a while.
Well, listen to this stretch.
Okay.
Just listen to this stretch.
What, was it going to be a fashion show for sneakers?
That's what I thought.
No, come on, dude.
I thought it was like...
At Clear Channel, the same company that employs Super Dave.
Or iHeart.
No, yeah, or iHeart, you're right.
Exactly. He was just giving honor to Red Makem.
I thought I've been to events like that.
What, a sneaker fashion show?
That's what he thought. It was a sneaker fashion show here at the iHeart building.
We were all asked to wear sneakers so we can show them off.
As if we could beat Roomba.
I beat Roomba. I have
Or
the
the beat.
dopest. I have the dopest shoes on in the building.
So he wears his Liverpool LeBrons.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
And those things are, put them up in the camera.
Bang.
These things are skeezy. Look at those things.
Wow.
Teal with red bottoms.
I like your socks, dude.
You keep calling them skeezy. You're looking for steezy.
Steezy?
With a T.
Is it skeezy?
Skeezy is bad.
Yeah,
Skeezy
skeezy is
bad?
kind of like,
All
yeah.
right, steezy.
Like that
What's
hooker you
steezy?
slept with was kind of skeezy.
Yeah. Prostitutes are skeezy.
I was gonna say, you
cool shoes are steezy.
All right, steezy.
Steezy.
Sorry.
All right,
That's why
looking it
Sabrina
up.
laughed at me.
But that's why I was so like just really embarrassed. Because
Yeah.
I also thought,
But nobody
'cause
else
that's
knew.
a thing. That is a thing that people like show up with your cool shoes.
Yeah, but not at a radio station that employs guys like Larry and old laid-back Steve over there.
So not only
Who hikes his Dockers up to his nips.
yeah.
Laid-back
He's
Steve.
showing off his desert boot collection.
So not only am I dead wrong about this shoe competition that I have built up, I showed up, guys. I'm wearing a black long sleeve shirt and gray pants. Why? Because those are two muted colors to really show off my shoes. I put in
Deborah,
effort.
it looks like they're lighted. They're so bright on what he's wearing. They look lit up.
I put in effort. I wanted to win for the Jim Colbert Show. That's why
I appreciate that.
That's why I'm wearing Jim Colbert Show socks.
I appreciate that.
There
a
we
lot.
go, Jack.
You
Get it
mother-
ready. Get it.
Hey,
Oh.
don't get
5
mad
minutes
at me. Don't hate the player,
5
hate the
minutes
game.
in.
Right at
5 minutes in.
3:05.
There you go.
That makes sense.
And
'cause
24 though.
That place is also pretty wrong.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you, Biggie Smalls.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I have never in my
So-
life
So how much disappointment was there when he realized
that it was for pickleball instead.
that it wasn't a
The directive to bring her sneakers was so that we could play pickleball in the building.
Yeah.
He was a little shocked at that one. That one came over a little odd for him.
Despite the fact that he's been walking around this indoor pickleball court for a week to go to the bathroom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
There have been nets set up in the building
No
literally
way.
since last Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely a shoe contest. Definitely a shoe beauty contest. A shooty contest.
A shooty.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I've never heard of that. You tell me the last time you've even heard of a shoe fashion contest.
But like Orlando Magic, they have like a cool fundraiser called like Penny and Suits or Suits and Pennies. Something in J's.
Can I tell you, I do not believe you.
No, that's a thing.
I think you're making this entire thing up.
And it's
to
like
justify your teal shoe wearing.
It's a big fundraiser that the Orlando Magic do where everyone dresses up, but from the ankle down, they're wearing like their dopest basketball shoes.
Russ, I just want an opinion on this possible show title. I'm here for the shooty contest.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I definitely wore the coolest shoes that I own.
You definitely have steez.
How much did you pay for those?
They're like $200.
What?
I think it was shipping and handling.
They brand new when you
Keep
got them?
going up.
Yeah,
It was more.
I don't want.
They were more.
It was
Do you
over
hear
2.
that? Do you hear Jack busting it?
I thought it was like 275,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
No, it was not 275.
I remember it being closer to 275.
260?
No.
250.
No.
Oh, you
Ross,
paused there.
250.
You
I
paused
feel
there.
very confident that it was not $250.
How did you pay for it?
A credit card?
Well, that means there's a record of
No
it.
record of it at all. That's it.
I'm not going to go into my credit
Why
card
not?
statements because
Yeah.
I don't care that
It's an
much.
app. We do.
It's
an app.
250. 250.
All right, 250. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
Almost 200.
Right,
Yeah.
and could you sell them right
No.
now for that much?
I think.
Yeah?
I don't think these shoes have lost too much value, no.
They're pretty rare. Did you have to order them overseas, or were they here in the States?
There's about a 2-hour window that I could have purchased them as an American here in Florida.
Really? That's
I don't
it?
know if there was more time
Wow.
to purchase these exact shoes in this colorway, but
Yeah. What's the steeziest shoe available right now? What's the steeziest?
There you go. Go,
like,
Jimmy.
Like if you're going to have the coolest sneaker on planet Earth right now, and I walk in this building with them, and immediately everybody pays attention, what shoe is that? Give me the steez factor.
I think it's the Pistol Pete Puma.
Yeah, is it?
Wow.
It's hard
Say
to
that
say.
again. Yeah.
Pistol Pete Puma.
I'm
Pistol
going to
Pete
go.
Puma. I'm not going to try it again.
I would probably go with like some Travis Scott Jordan.
Really? The
shoe.
Travis Scott thing?
Yeah, Travis Scott and Jordan, they've had a couple of low shoes that are
very popular?
Very, very popular.
Are any of the Kanye things still popular with all the stuff that's going on with Kanye? Or the Yeezys still? I know that Adidas is basically trying to ship those things out in any way they can.
I would think that some of those models have probably
Gone up?
increased
Yeah.
in value.
Just because you're never going to see another pair.
They're done.
And
Yeah,
just so you know, Jim, you can also use Dope, Fresh, Fly
I got
in the
that.
place of Steezy.
Yeah, but Steezy, so
Steez.
so 2016. I
It
think
is.
It's newer.
It's a snowboarder term, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, it combines the word style and ease to
Oh.
create the act of doing a trick with style and ease to make it done with super.
So he wears those
Steez.
shoes with style
Okay.
and ease, so they're steezy.
They're steezy.
Deb, I got to tell you, it sounds like that's being read.
Oh, it is.
I know, it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's Steezopedia.
Yeah, that's how we know it's right.
Steezopedia.
Yeah, Steezopedia. Everybody knows that.
The whole how Steez was told to me when I was in high school is that a lot of skateboarders can kickflip.
Yeah.
But some skateboarders make a kickflip look way cooler.
Oh, yeah. They bone it out, what they call bone it out.
Yeah, a little bit more airtime. Maybe
Yeah, they point the
board
nose
is-
a little bit.
Yeah, rotating a little bit more.
It's slower and higher.
Yeah.
407-916-1041 coming up today. Like I said, Deb's News is going to get us caught up on what's happening out there. Sports today is kind of odd. You know, when NFL stops, we were talking
Yeah.
about all the other sports. XFL had its Orlando home opener this week.
They
That's
did.
the Guardians. They played this week. The Orlando City Soccer Club opened up their season as well Saturday. The boys were there. We'll get a catch up on that as well. That's all coming with Brandon Kravitz, plus finding out what's going on with the Magic. Some trade stuff happening possibly in the NFL. A really interesting story about Russell Wilson, now a Denver Bronco. Let's ride.
Let's get it.
Some information came out about him, and this guy, it's so weird for a guy who has such a crystal kind of clear reputation of being like a good guy. It doesn't really kind of come off like that anymore because this is a big news story. Have you heard the story?
I have not.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it. Plus, we have TK Law coming up. Ray Trindley talk about a bunch of stuff, including the Murdaugh case that's making a bunch of news right now. We started the Netflix series this weekend.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, man.
Yeah, jury.
That guy's a monster, man.
Jury gets to go to the murder scene of his wife and son.
Is there something wrong that there's documentaries about court cases
Still
when
in
the court
court?
case is happening?
It's weird, isn't it?
It is weird. I would think there would be some kind of legality that could jeopardize.
But this case has been going on for a while. You got to remember, this guy's been embroiled in controversy for years with the maid dying, with that kid friend, the DUI.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff around this family.
At
man.
least 5 deaths connected
Yeah.
to this family.
Plus, we have a bunch of other stuff to talk about. 2023 hurricane names.
Yo.
Oh, they're out there already. Do you have an eating disorder? And that's an interesting question because a lot of people would answer no, but I bet money there's one that we have. I found out I have one today. Now, again, it's not anything that's going to get me into the world of supermodels or anything like that, but it is an interesting concept on what you consider an eating disorder. The guy who writes Dilbert is in a world of trouble.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear about that story?
No.
My favorite
Aw.
thing about Dilbert is that his name is
Dilbert?
His name is Dilbert, but his dog's name is Dogbert.
Is it really? That's
I've always loved that.
And then, of course, Jack sent me a great story today about lawyers. Lawyers say that Wayne Ivey, the sheriff over there in Brevard County, says that he can say whatever he wants whenever he wants at any given time. Plus, we got that to talk about as well. What's coming up for news?
Oh, well, protesters have gathered in Michigan over a delivery from Ohio. I wonder what they're getting. Here locally, DeSantis signs a law giving the state control over the Disney district. And what's happening to Ian Fleming's James Bond novels that will set Jimmy's hair on fire?
Don't
Oops.
even get me started.
Too late.
Oh, my God almighty.
You said set his hair on fire?
I sure did.
All right.
And then I said,
his chest or his back?
No, I set his hair on fire, and then I said, oops.
They're right. I do have a lot of options. Though.
Too late.
There's
He's got the goatee.
one odd option I do not have, though.
Did you do this story, I don't know, like 20 years ago?
No.
We'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
It's easy joke, dude. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
What's more exciting than a brand new iPhone with a dozen cameras? How about Real Radio on your iPhone? Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
We're seeing heavy traffic heading out of Polk County eastbound on I-4 approaching U.S. Highway 27 out past 429. It's also heavy between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535, as well as westbound between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. We're also seeing a slow go due to a disabled vehicle taking up the right lane westbound on the 408 approaching I-4. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber, HOA and condo board members. Bring your community the fastest, most reliable fiber internet while saving up to 50%. With Blue Stream Fiber, your community gains a partner, not just another provider. Start the partnership at bluestreamfiber.com/radio today.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Get ready for International Diamond Center's largest bridal event ever with a head-to-head matchup of the nation's two most acclaimed ring designers, Tacori and Viraggio. It's next weekend, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. For the first time ever, IDC's flying in the entire collections from these iconic designers. All the newest creations with special cash incentives and long-term zero-interest financing. There has never been a better time to get the ring of your dreams. These are the best of the best in stunning handcrafted bridal jewelry. Tacori from California with its signature crescent design, and Viraggio from New York with its distinctive, unique look unlike any other. Compare these spectacular rings side by side, and if you buy the ring and the matching band during this event, IDC will give you $1,500 towards your purchase. Plus, we're opening up the vault with thousands of GIA and Forevermark diamonds to choose from at exceptional prices for this 3-day buying opportunity. Don't miss the two most sought-after designers, Tacori and Viraggio, coming together on the IDC stage for 3 incredible days, March 10th through 12th, with special incentives and zero-interest financing. International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando area locations.
This is Monster Jam! Get ready for massive stunts, all-out racing, and crazy skills.
Let's hear it! Make some noise!
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by Circle K and your local Ford dealers. Get your $5 savings coupon from participating Ford dealers. Restrictions may apply. See savings coupon for details. Coming to Camping World Stadium this Saturday. Visit monsterjam.com for event details.
Rent is due and money is tight. You could A, pay a huge late fee, or B, get an AmScott cash advance and avoid it. AmScott, up to $500 fast. No credit check. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval. AmScott.
This Friday,
Leave this with me.
Guy Ritchie, the director of Sherlock Holmes and The Gentleman, brings you the first great action comedy of the year. Don't miss Operation Fortune.
You dance, I'll play.
Starring Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, and Hugh Grant.
Game on.
Operation Fortune, rated R.
The way healthcare works today can be frustrating. So many different doctors to keep track of, different tests, different medications. It's a lot. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care covered by most Medicare plans. Here, your own doctor coordinates all of your care for you, even talking to your specialists and your pharmacist to manage prescriptions. There's a lot more about Village Medical that we think you'll love. When's the last time you said that about healthcare? Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
Today's Central Florida job market is more competitive than ever. But don't be discouraged. Attend the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair, March 1st at the Orlando Science Center, and connect with over 70 recruiters.
Some even offering on-the-spot interviews. Your next career is right in front of you.
Florida Jobs Now Job Fair, March 1st from noon until 4 at the Orlando Science Center. and parking is free.
Get more info at fljobsnow.com. Presented by SeaWorld and Aquatica.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Orlando area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Office in Orlando. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Easy Cater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backup singers. So right before this important meeting, I get a text from Easy Cater that the restaurant lost power.
No electricity.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? But Easy Cater was like, don't worry.
No sweat.
They got another restaurant to fill the whole order. And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way.
Inflection is everything.
Problem with your order? Easy Cater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants.
Easy Cater.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
They got your back.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
What is the black star? Is it the cat with the black shades, the black car? Is it shining from very far to where you are?
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. That's how you call us. You can text us easily as well at 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack and Ross are right over there. Let's get a check of the news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole world.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. All right, people in Michigan gathered outside a private waste facility today to protest toxic waste from the Ohio train derailment being sent there. The waste from the East Palestine train wreck came to the city of Romulus, west of Detroit, without the public's knowledge or even their input this weekend. Some lawmakers and residents gathered to demand answers. Officials say they were told the waste was sent to Michigan because it's one of a few states that can actually handle the hazardous materials.
Wow.
That should make you feel better about that.
Joke.
This came after the train operator Norfolk Southern had temporarily stopped the shipment so the EPA could review the company's plan. Some of the liquid waste is headed to another Ohio site for disposal in an underground injection well.
Okay.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to defend, sending it to Michigan, but the whole idea of Michigan residents getting a say in that, isn't that kind of fairy tale-ish?
Just the idea that they're supposed to let you know when those trains are coming through your state.
Just
and
like
they didn't. And they've already resumed shipments of that stuff already.
Well, not so much the public. I would think just emergency authorities for emergency
the governor.
response.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, obviously they're not letting the residents know. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but still, after all of the news that it caused and you have, residents concerned, I think, sending it via rail, which is, Ohio authorities weren't told in the beginning that these things were coming through their state.
Right.
So when it derailed, they were like, what? What spilled where?
Yeah.
I've got plenty of friends that send it via rail. So.
They're that's funny. They're scraping earth now and shipping that away too. So it's going to be it's interesting to see. And then they said the water that's infected is headed to Texas.
Yeah.
Like via the rivers and stuff. It's going to wind up going that way or something.
That seems about right.
We're doomed.
Oh, yeah.
Closer to home, Disney World's Reedy Creek Improvement District is formally under the control of the state of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis was at the Reedy Creek Fire Station in Lake Buena Vista earlier today to sign that legislation. The bill passed during a special session of the Florida legislature. It renames the Reedy Creek Improvement Association as the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. The governor is also appointing 5 members to the board, including Tampa attorney Martin Garcia, who will serve as chairman. Their first meeting is set for next week. Previously, Disney was able to self-govern its property, but now it will have to report its finances and other plans to the state. The change comes after the company's opposition to an education policy, also known by critics as the Don't Say Gay law. Now, meanwhile, in his new book, DeSantis reveals some details of his showdown with Disney.
Really?
Yeah. DeSantis' book, The Courage to Be Free, Florida's Blueprint for American Revival, is due out tomorrow. Fox News Digital reports today that DeSantis writes about a phone call he got from former Disney CEO Bob Chapek about the parental rights and education bill, that same one that critics dubbed the Don't Say Gay. Now, that's the bill. DeSantis writes that Chapek told him he didn't want the company to get involved, but he also said he was getting a lot of pressure to weigh in against the bill.
The most pressure he ever experienced as the CEO of Disney.
Yeah, that's exactly. Chapek also reportedly said the amount of pressure was at a level he had never seen before.
He was the CEO, though, for only like a year.
It wasn't
right?
that long.
It was a very short amount of time. It was about 4 months after the showdown that Iger was like, hey, I think I'm going to go ahead and come back. So we'll see what goes on from here. Now, the governor did say the $700 million bond that Disney has will continue to be carried by Disney. It won't be transferred over to residents of Central Florida. And he also said this puts Disney on par with other large theme parks in our area. Namely, he mentioned SeaWorld. So we'll see if it remains to be that. Now, the new leader of the Florida Democrats say they have a lot to do, a lot of work going forward. New Florida Democrat Chair Nikki Fried said Saturday after she was elected party chair at an event in Orange County that they need to rebuild from the ground up and speak out more about the issues concerning their party. The former agriculture commissioner beat former state senator Annette Taddeo. The 45-year-old Fried replaces Manny Diaz after he abruptly resigned. Now, is this something that all party members, if you're a Democrat, that you're allowed to vote in on this?
Not the rank
Not
and
the
file
party
public.
chair? No, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how that worked with party leadership, if the regular voter got a say in who led the party, or if it was mainly party leadership talking to other party leadership.
Well, I never got the memo.
Yeah.
All right, a teenager accused of attacking a Flagler County school employee is expected to face adult charges. The state attorney's office says they plan to prosecute that 17-year-old Matanzas High School special needs student as an adult after he reportedly attacked a teacher's aide last week.
Did you see the video?
I have not seen it yet.
I will tell you this. When you see the video, you will not believe it.
Well,
he throws. He doesn't push. He throws this teacher off of her feet. I watched it 3 times today. She doesn't land for 10 feet. Hits the ground so hard it knocks her unconscious. Then this 6'6" behemoth jumps on top of her and starts wailing on her, kicking her and punching her. When people start to pull him off, as they're pulling him off, he's still using his legs to try to kick her in the head.
Well, deputies, while in handcuffs, police say the student was yelling that he was going to kill her. The student,
Gotta go.
The student is being held on a $1 million bond.
Yeah, I don't care how many disabilities you have. I don't care how many. You can't have somebody like that around human beings when that is possible. He's lucky he didn't kill her. He could have killed her easily. If you see the video, get the video and find it and put it up. You won't believe it.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. And again, he did knock this teacher's aide unconscious. And, again, it was because she took his Nintendo Switch away.
Breath of the Wild be like that.
And, the other issue with that, too, is that it goes to show that, if he's 17, if he's unable to control his impulses when he becomes angry, really, what environment can you put him in where he is safe and other people around him
Well,
are
can
safe.
I tell you, I don't know about his safety being worried about right now because at 6'6", 270, I don't know what could really be a threat to a kid like that.
Right.
But I know what he is. He is a terrible threat to anybody he's around right now.
Especially if he can't control his anger.
And that's a woman. He had no problem doing that to an older woman. No problem. Not at all. Threw her right down, started beating the absolute hell out of her. She's lucky to be alive. When you see the video, it's unbelievable.
Well, New Smyrna Beach leaders are expected to vote this week on a permanent curfew for kids. The ordinance would impact anyone under the age of 18 starting at 11 o'clock every night. Now, this comes after police reported an increase in juvenile arrests in the last 2 years. What percentage do you think, this is just in New Smyrna Beach, what percentage do you think they've seen an increase in juvenile arrests in the last 2 years?
Oh, man. Pandemic, social media, 40%.
Jack?
I think it's up 100%.
Ross?
101.
Points Jack, 89%.
Wow. Damn it.
89%
That's
increase
unreal.
in juvenile arrests in the last 2 years. Commissioners will hear from the community before voting on the proposal, and that vote is expected at tomorrow's meeting. All right, 21 people are facing charges in connection to a 3-month-long drug trafficking sting over in Hillsborough County. Sheriff Chad Cronister says Operation Checkmate led to the arrest of 2 top gang leaders of the Latin Kings here in Florida. Police searched 5 homes in the Waimama area last week and determined that they were used as drug distribution centers. Now, Cronister went on to say that authorities seized more than a dozen guns and enough fentanyl to kill everyone in Hillsborough County twice.
Oh, man.
Twice.
Wow.
State Attorney General Ashley Moody attended the news conference earlier today to say her office will continue to help take violent criminals out of our communities. Speaking of fentanyl, a rapper is a wanted man in Broward County. The sheriff's office issued an arrest warrant last week for Miramar's Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Turns out, as part of his arrest on drug charges back in July, he has to submit to testing. And in a test 3 weeks ago, he allegedly tested positive for fentanyl.
That's right. That's the guy that got the pardon from Trump, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got a pardon from Trump.
Yeah. I guess he thought it was going to cover this, too. The warrant was issued Thursday, but no arrest has been announced, and a hearing is set for tomorrow.
Did you find the video, Jack, by any chance?
Yeah, it's being posted right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
That was an odd month for any president where Trump just started, getting as many rappers to be like, Trump is the way to go,
I mean, of
guys.
all people to pardon, that guy is like that. I mean, you could look at this guy's past and see that he just does not give an F.
Didn't we have Lil Wayne? Didn't we have Wayne,
Yeah.
Weezy himself, making social media posts about go vote for Trump? What an acid trip of a month that was.
I know, it still is in some ways. Okay, Jimmy, I know later on in the show we're getting ready to talk about what the next crop of hurricane names are, by the way. We are less than 100 days away from the start of the 2023 season. I'm not ready, man. I'm not ready.
Like it just got over.
And like my best friend is still not in her house yet. She's had to rent an apartment while her house gets fixed so that she can get ready to do this all over again.
Look, Deb, relax. I can't imagine this season's going to be any worse at all than last year.
Well, not only that, Jimmy.
Does it say the forecast yet?
No, but what they are saying is that, don't just look at the hurricane forecast track and go, wow, poor Florida, poor Texas, poor whatever, because hurricanes are going to penetrate deeper into the U.S. in the coming years. That's according to a new study out by the First Street Foundation. The nonprofit research group says that stronger storms fueled by climate change will threaten areas usually unaccustomed to hurricane force winds. The analysis found more than 13 million structures could be at risk in the decades ahead.
It's the far northeast, I think, that's going to have the real eye-opening, because last year alone they got hit with 2, right? Like New York and up. I think they got hit with one in the beginning of the winter, and they got hit with one during the summer. And then the one that came through us, what was the bad one?
Ian,
went up and caused damage up and through Atlanta into the Carolinas. It penetrated all the way up into the mid-Atlantic states.
Well, the dollar value of expected damage is also forecasted to rise as a result. Researchers have already estimated that hurricanes will cause $18.5 billion. Hell, I think Ian and Nicole did that just this year,
Yeah.
or rather in 2022.
They're terrible party guests.
Now, while the number of storms is not expected to increase, their intensity will. And again, look at this weekend. You had snow in Los Angeles, blizzards in Pasadena, Portland, Oregon, getting more snow than it's had since the 1940s.
Right. And then they have a snowstorm in like San Francisco
Yeah,
and LA.
exactly, in LA.
That's the greatest. Like, this is the wacky, this is like the fun house of weather now.
Yeah, I know. It is, isn't it? And then SpaceX hopes to try again later this week to launch a rocket carrying 4 new crew members to the International Space Station. An attempt early this morning at the Kennedy Space Center was scrubbed about 2 minutes before launch due to an issue with an engine ignition system. Now, this is the second straight day the launch has been scrubbed. Liftoff of the Crew 6 mission is now scheduled for no earlier than 12:34 a.m. Thursday morning. Heading to the ISS for 6 months will be 2 NASA astronauts, a Russian cosmonaut, and the first United Arab Emirates astronaut to be assigned for such a long-term mission. Meanwhile, there was a SpaceX launch of Starlink satellites into orbit that was scheduled for 1:38 today.
Yeah. My buddy calls me yesterday or texted me last night and said, "Hey, man, we're going up to the river to watch the launch tonight. You want to go?" And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this thing doesn't roll until like 1:45 a.m. And then he texts me back immediately after and says, "Yeah, it's a little early. It's 1:45." I text back and said, "Yeah, Parge, we're gonna miss this one.
Yeah, take some photos.
Not gonna make that one killer.
I'm
but,
all right about
we'll
that.
hit you up next time."
Well, I know coming up at 4:20, we've got Brandon Kravitz from our sister station, 96.9 The Game, coming in to talk some sports. I know you guys are going to focus mainly on the Florida stuff, Orlando City, the XFL. But I also wanted to talk about Major League Baseball because fans are getting their first chance to see the impact of new rules changes with the start of spring training. I know Chris and I were talking about this at home this weekend because they include bigger bases, and if you haven't heard, a pitch clock.
They got a
pitch clock.
A shot clock now, basically.
And not only that, I guess there's also a clock for the batters as well.
Yeah, man.
It's all intended to speed up the game to help slumping TV ratings go from a 3-hour game to maybe a 2-hour game. Some baseball purists, though, are crying foul after a game between the Atlanta Braves and Boston Red Sox resulted in a quote-unquote game-ending violation.
Listen, this is a joke. Baseball should look. Football has a shot clock, basically with the play clock. Basketball has
NBA
one.
does.
The golf has one now.
Do they really?
Golf has a shot clock now. You can be what they call put on the clock, and if you get put on the clock for holding up the golf course by taking too long, they can actually assess you shots.
Well,
so this is perfectly fine for baseball. The little babies need to lighten up and pitch by the clock and stop taking so much stupid time. You're throwing a baseball. It's fine.
They're saying it's not going to affect the pitchers as much as the batters.
Yeah, I think it's going to affect the batters way more as well because there's a certain vibe you got to get into. But they take too long.
You see those
The game shouldn't be that
routines.
long. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
You're
And by the way, they're the most superstitious athletes. It's
even
them
more
in
than hockey? I
It's
was
them in
gonna say.
hockey, but I'm telling you, baseball's the worst, and they will take forever. Those games need to be shorter. It's going to help. Stop crying.
Well, again, baseball purists crying foul after that game between the Braves and the Sox resulted in a game-ending violation. For those who don't know what that was, this after the umpire ruled the batter wasn't engaged with the pitcher with 8 seconds remaining on the pitch clock.
There you go.
All right, the 29th annual Screen Actors Guild Awards are in the books. Hollywood's best gathered in Los Angeles yesterday with the comedy drama Everything Everywhere All at Once winning Best Cast. Lead actress Michelle Yeoh highlighted the film's 3 individual honors by notching Best Actress. Brendan Fraser took home Best Actor for his role in The Whale. Other awards of note included ABC's Abbott Elementary winning Best Comedy Ensemble and HBO's The White Lotus winning Best Drama Ensemble. Actress Sally Field was presented with the SAG Award for Lifetime Achievement.
You hear the drama there?
No.
A lot of drama at the SAGs last night. You know what it was?
No.
Guess who gave out the award to the cast of Everything All at Once, or Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Woody Harrelson.
No, Mark Wahlberg.
Ayo! Oh, whoa!
How about Mark Wahlberg, when he was 16 years old, was convicted for a felony for punching an Asian man in the face, and then attacked another one in like '98 with a stick, broke it over him, and then sucker punched another Vietnamese guy. This guy has a history of racism against Asians, and he gave the award to them last night.
So SAG isn't aware of that?
Oh, there's no way they can't be, but it is being called out everywhere by being like the biggest goof of all. I mean, not a goof of all time, but I mean, it's just bad taste.
Yeah.
I think of all the people they could have chosen.
I knew he had legal problems in the past. I had no idea it was Asian hate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that Boston thing.
He beat the complete hell out of 2 Vietnamese guys. Actually, I think ruined one guy's eyesight. He hit him so hard.
Yeah, he caused an affliction of some
He
sort.
did. I think he hit a guy in the eye so bad it blinded him in that eye. And I think it was unprovoked.
It's a Boston problem.
But, all right, so
it's almost like Philly, just horrible people.
So the flip side of that, though, is he not allowed to present that award?
It's just in bad taste, I think, to have him of all people present the award. I mean,
so
it's kind of like having Will Smith, be the intro for Chris Rock.
And by the way, they actually compared the Will Smith to it'd be like having Will Smith introduce, and then the movie was about domestic violence or something like that.
All right, Netflix is going to try to catch them all. That's because the streaming giant is teaming up with the Pokemon Company to make Pokemon Concierge.
Shout out to you saying it correctly. I just want to throw that out there.
It's not Pokemon, it's Pokemon.
No, she's nailing it.
Okay, good.
The stop-motion animated series will follow Haru.
Oh, yeah, baby.
A concierge at the Pokemon Resort and her interactions with Pokemon and their trainers.
Didn't know it was a girl.
The series was announced today on what's considered Pokemon Day 2023.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why is today Pokemon Day?
I don't know. Go home and Pokemon.
All right.
Yeah,
Ross?
Yeah, no,
Is it just this is the day it was released or something?
I tried catching them all back in the day, man.
All
Now
right.
I'm older. Now I get Charizarded.
Oh, God.
Don't.
I know what that means.
In fact, you do?
I know what that means. I know what the Charizard is. Well, for one thing, it's the most valuable Pokemon card of all.
Oh,
and it's the most powerful Pokemon card of all. And the reason I know that is because that idiot Jake Paul.
Who just got got his ass beat by Fury.
Instead of wearing a big gold chain or whatever, he wore a lanyard with the Charizard card in there as he walked in.
Wow.
What's it like? Is it $250,000?
It's more.
Yeah, $500,000 card or something?
I believe also there was a case of a man being murdered in Florida. He was a reporter over his Pokemon collection.
There you go.
I believe he had that Skarzard.
It's
card.
Charizard. Charizard, please.
Just wanted to give him a chance to flex.
Well, I mean, Skarzard sounds badass.
It does.
That sounds like the last Skarsgård brother.
That's what I have on my arms all the time.
And finally, I can't figure this out either, but Ian Fleming's James Bond novels are being edited to remove offensive material.
We're going to talk about this a little bit later, too, by the way.
New editions of the classic Bond novels are expected to hit shelves this spring with racially insensitive language removed. This happened to Roald Dahl's books as well.
Mm-hmm.
A new report in the Sunday Telegraph claims that Fleming's estate worked with, quote, sensitivity readers, end quote, never heard of such a thing, to flag and remove what they see as language that reflects outdated attitudes about race. The news comes at a time of increased cultural sensitivity in the publishing industry, like we just mentioned. Roald Dahl, he's behind the
James and the Giant Peach,
there
Willy
we
Wonka,
go.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes. Along with the James Bond movie franchise is trying to reinvent itself as well as the series searches for a new 007 actor. Like I said, I don't get it.
Who's Jungle Book? Dahl?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Who
so.
did that one? Who did Jungle Book?
Do a quick Google while they do that.
No, it's all right. Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah, Rudyard Kipling. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was close. I'm never. All right, Jack.
No.
Yay!
It's Rudyard Clipping, and it's not Rudyard. Get out of here. Buzzer. 2 because you gave him a ding.
No, that was for you for saying Kipling. Kipling. You said.
I said Kipling. It's Rudyard.
No, you said Kipling.
I did not.
The second time you said Kipling.
See?
Did
It's the
not.
second buzz. Now you're denying it?
Did not.
Oh.
Did not.
See, people think Jack is actually doing those sound cues. That's the big guy upstairs.
Yeah, that's God.
He knows all.
That's God doing it.
And he also knows that you all are officially woke, and Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. Did you know that mortgage brokers are better? Why? Well, because they do all of their loans through national wholesale lenders. Now, don't worry. It's still going to be your standard FHA, VA, or conventional loan, but They have access to dozens of wholesale banks competing for your business that you and I do not. But imagine dozens of banks competing to get your business for once. Well, that mortgage guy Don will give you a comparison quote today. Just go to thatmortgageguyDon.com. Peace of mind at your fingertips, so don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Thanks, Eb. 407-916-1041. Somebody just texted and said, is Mel Brooks going to meet with those people?
I don't know. Blazing Saddles could never be made again. There's so many movies and TV shows that we could never be able to see again.
But aren't these classic movies supposed to be reflective of that time? Isn't that the thing? Is like part of the story is telling you of that time. I mean, anybody with the right mind could understand that certain things are going to be insensitive, but they're time sensitive. I just don't understand.
Well, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn.
I was just thinking of that.
I mean, how many more books are you going to have to go through to do this with?
Yeah.
And why are you doing it?
Exactly.
Why are you doing
None of it makes sense. I do not understand for the life of me why. It's reflective of those times. Some of that stuff is going to be offensive.
And
let it be. They didn't mention any. Are they going for the misogyny as well? Because of all the things in James Bond that I remember, none of it was racist because this guy had black chicks all over him. That was part of the thing. It was like that was the first time I remember seeing a beautiful black woman in a role where she was supposed to be not a slave or not part of Roots or not some housewife that never leaves the house. They were elegant, beautiful spies. Like I love that, and now they're going to do that. And he was a worse misogynist than he ever was anything else.
Well, that's the problem. If they got rid of the misogyny, there'd be no story left. Yeah, exactly.
That's part
Let's
of the
get rid of
story.
something we can get rid of and still have the story left.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
Just trying to avoid the next round of corporate layoffs by proving our relevancy in the virtual world. Follow us, please. Real Radio 1041 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. We have a lot of sunshine on tap this afternoon. Highs will be soaring to the mid-80s yet again with wake-up temperatures tomorrow morning in the mid-60s, and we do remain dry with those temperatures warming to the upper 80s by the end of the work week. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Find everything you love listening to on Audible. Hear celebrity memoirs, mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Daytona Supercross is more than the race that defines careers and the sound of revving engines echoing in your ears. It's more than the brutal competition on the gnarliest course that I've designed to date. It's your heart thumping from being closer to the action than you've ever been before. The atmosphere, under the lights. I'm Ricky Carmichael, and this is Daytona Supercross. Do you feel it?
You will. Saturday, March 4th at the World Center of Racing. Get tickets and trackside access at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Are you ready for Bike Week? Come join us for not one, but 2 free concerts brought to you by Rich Newsom, motorcycle lawyer. That's right, 2 free concerts at the world-famous Cackleberry Campground in New Smyrna Beach. Come out and see Confederate Railroad Sunday, March 5th, followed by Colt 4th Thursday, March 9th. Shows start at 8 p.m. We can't wait to see you there. Brought to you by Rich Newsom, motorcycle lawyer. For more details, visit bigbikelaw.com.
I love going on double dates to McDonald's. And by double, I mean twice a day. And by dates, I mean quality time with my choice of a savory sausage biscuit or sausage McMuffin paired with hash browns for $2.79 in the morning. Then sneak away for either a delicious McDouble or McChicken with small fries on the side for $3.69 later in the day. Who needs romance when there's McDonald's? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid when product served.
No matter what I get, it's 20% off every day when I spend $1 on the McDonald's app. So yesterday was my please the whole fam on the way to the game meal. Today is my finally get them to stop asking, are we there yet meal. Who knows what tomorrow will be? Maybe a delicious crispy chicken sandwich all for myself meal. Whatever it is, it's a win. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through December 31st, 2023 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. McD app download and registration required.
And now, everybody who's fueled by your local Circle K. There's flower shop owners, neighborhood bakers, awesome food truck sandwich makers, gearheads, mighty motorheads, farmers and their farmsteads, life-saving physicians and head-banging musicians, that guy who helps you change your spare, and rock star nurses. The people we rely on every day are fueled by Circle K. Every single day, fueled by Circle K.
Ordering ahead on the Dunkin' app has always been pretty awesome. You get to skip the line and don't have to wait to get your favorite Dunkin' treat. And now, ordering ahead is even more awesome. Because rewards members who order ahead on the app can get a $2 medium cold brew every day, all month long. Not a member? Join Dunkin' Rewards on the app and get even more exclusive Dunkin' deals. Dunkin' Rewards. Save them, stack them, use them how you want. America runs on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per day. Additional charges and terms may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
If you have certain chronic conditions, such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Internal Revenue Service. When you owe a personal or business tax debt and can't pay, just hearing those 3 words brings feelings of fear and anxiety, and it's only a matter of time before tax liens, wage garnishments, or bank levies happen to you. We are J. David Tax Law, a local firm right here in Florida. Your first step to resolution is our no-cost consultation. We take the time to go through your specific tax problem step by step. We explain exactly what your options are and how we will resolve your tax issue. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you, and our fee payment plans are affordable for everyone. If you have tax problems, call us now for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
This hour of Real Radio brought to you by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming March 1st.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
You got a cute way of walking. You put the better in me. You do, Ross, especially with sneakers on.
All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Funny story about this song, I'll tell you in a sec. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack.
Hi there.
And Ross. Turn us up. Is this the guy I told you about the other day?
Yeah, Marcus King.
Yeah, Marcus King. So, funny story. So, Angel from the Monsters and myself have been friends for a while, of course. And we used to love to share bands with each other. And I had a unique one-up on him. Now, this guy is more tuned in to music scenes of every genre there is. There is no genre of music that Angel doesn't enjoy. Big hip-hop fan, but in the same sense, he could listen to this stuff all day as well. Everything this guy has a taste for. So it was a challenge to always find something that he had never heard of. Well, it turns out I had kids in high school.
Oh.
And kids in high school, and, they're listening to all kinds of stuff. I mean, really unique stuff. They're scouring the internet looking for stuff. They're hearing about it in school. Their friends are playing it. And every once in a while, I just drop bombs on him. Hey, have you heard of these guys? Have you heard of these guys? Have you heard of these guys?
Oh, it's a big dad win, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was a great dad win. And it was like a little game we had. If you go back to our text messages, you can see it for years going back and forth. Have you heard of these guys? So I shoot him this text on the air. I think they were on the air Friday. And I shoot him a text, and I said, hey, dude, check out Marcus King. And thinking that I'd found something, because this guy's best video has like 2.4 million views. And on YouTube, that's nothing. You know, I mean, for somebody who's got some juice, you know, to have 2.4 million views is nothing. And I saw this guy's picture online because he'd just gotten married to this absolutely gorgeous chick, and he's an odd-looking cat.
Oh,
like he's an odd.
Yeah,
he looks like a country Cabbage Patch Kid. He's like,
I was like, yeah, there's zeros behind that one.
Like an odd-looking dude, right?
So
I sent this to Angel, and I'm like, oh, back at it. Look at the kid go. I've got it. This one I found on my own. He sends me back and goes, yeah, man, I've been playing 3 songs from that guy for 2 years. Yeah, go check him out. Marcus King, Marcus King. Interesting dude. All right, 407-916-1041. So Jack got the video up. If you want to go check out the video of this kid over in up in Matanzas High School, that's Flagler County, throwing that teacher on the ground and then jumping on top of her. Now, when they reported it, how'd they report it? You remember, was it just pushed her down?
Oh, no.
And then started attacking her?
No, knocked her unconscious. That's the way it was from the beginning, that he attacked a teacher's aide, knocking her unconscious.
Did you see the video, Ross?
Yes.
What do you think? It's unreal, right?
Yeah.
And when he pushed her, it was more than a push. He shoved her. She came off of her feet and flew 8 to 10 feet before she hit the ground. The impact was so great. That's what knocked her unconscious. And then he started beating her while she was unconscious. Yeah. And then after they tried to drag him off, he was still using his legs, trying to heel kick her in her head, while 6 people tried to drag her off. The other thing I find interesting is that an ROTC guy walking down that hallway?
Yeah, it looks like
he seems slow to react, didn't he?
What is that guy doing?
Yeah.
There's a woman being beaten by a monster. I mean, a monster of a human being. Yeah, and this guy's just he never runs. He's in full view to the entire thing and never even picks up his pace. Not one bit. Just sachets over and squats down.
Yeah,
God almighty.
The first thing I noticed, I'm like, dude, come on.
I get enraged watching it. And I don't care how disabled he is. I don't care, not even the least bit, how mentally incapable or capable he is or isn't, because there are other kids in that school that are also mentally incapable or mentally disabled, and they are not beating the complete piss out of teachers. God almighty, man.
Yeah, once he knocks her down, she never picks her head back up.
She's unconscious. He's beating her while she's unconscious.
And then while they're trying to pull him away, he's using his legs to try to continue to kick her.
Unbelievable. Like, it's savage. Like, you would have thought that he was beating her to save his own life.
What do you think is the correct punishment?
Well, he's got to be expelled. He can never be around students again or teachers again. Not ever. Not ever. I don't care where they put him. He can never be in an environment like that again. Not ever. Sorry.
No, I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, he's too big. She's lucky to be alive. I'm going to be dead honest with you. She's lucky to be alive. Had he gone over there and knee dropped her on her head or something and not just falling down and beating her like that, God only knows. Is that literally one of the most savage videos you've ever seen in your life that didn't end in a death or didn't have a weapon involved?
For me personally, no.
Really?
I wouldn't put that in my top 10 most savage vids. BuzzFeed.
Considering the content, a 6'6", 270-pound guy against a teacher's aide, a woman? Like, still that does, like, the context of it doesn't hit you as being even more violent? This is not 2 street thugs fighting at it. Yeah. This is not that. This is a guy attacking a woman, by the way, from behind. From behind. She had her back to him and he did it.
I'm surprised. The thing that shocks me are the amount and the number of adults walking the hallway who see it and just kind of keep walking, or like you said, Jack, with the ROTC guy, he just kind of calmly, he picks up his pace toward the end when he sees other people running to her aid. But that's what shocks me is the amount of time that kid was allowed to beat on her.
There were other teachers there too. One just walks over and kneels next to her. How that guy in the RTC doesn't run and tackle that ass or hit him in the face or knee him in his face or something, how that doesn't happen, I do not know. I guess that's the big plus there. is that he didn't do anything against the kid when he damn sure had the right to. I just can't get over it. I cannot get over how brutal that was.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. You can see it at JimColbertLive.com if you haven't had a chance to see the video yet of the 17-year-old student attacking a teacher's aide after she took his Nintendo Switch away during class. God. He's now in jail on $1 million bond.
And why are they... So is it common practice for schools to have those devices in school? Or do you just sneak them in your backpack? Is that what happens?
Probably.
Because we had a teacher, when we talked about this last week, we had a teacher who said, yeah, I have kids in my classes with devices all the time, but there ain't no way I'm saying anything to them, and this is why. I would rather just fail the person, let them soak up all the time and all the resources, and then just fail them so that I don't have to deal with something like that. There's your school system at work for you. Just bring your Switch in. That way, if you don't want to do the class, you can just sit there and be entertained as you fail and waste everybody's time and money. God damn, I cannot believe it. It is so bad. If you haven't seen it, JimColbertLive.com.
And then we wonder why Florida has, 5,000 plus teaching vacancies.
Yeah, 5,001 now. 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
3 general managers, 5 midday shows, and 1 corporate bankruptcy. Restructuring. Celebrating 30 years of Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
Delays continue this afternoon westbound on I-4 between World Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road, as well as between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. If you're traveling eastbound, we're seeing a slow go out of Polk County between U.S. Highway 27 and 429, and also between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. The beach line is up to speed, as well as the turnpike. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Daytona Beach.
Ocean breeze, tropical beach. An air freshener can make your car smell like paradise. A drive to Daytona Beach will actually get you there. Beach on. Plan your trip today at DaytonaBeach.com.
I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and this is my client, Will.
I saw a car accident. There was another incoming vehicle and hit me pretty good. This was in the middle of the night, and I was able to get a hold of someone. If you're injured on the go, just call Mo.
Prospective client may not obtain same or similar results.
With weather starting to warm up, it's time to update your outdoor space with Lowe's. Right now, start prepping with lawn essentials like fertilizer. Get Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed Fertilizer starting at just $32.48. And tackle outdoor cleaning with powerful electric pressure washers, starting at just $99. Visit us in-store or online to get a head start on your spring projects today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 2/23 to 3/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Steve Kramer here with a divorce tip. Inheritance isn't a marital asset unless you handle the money wrong or your divorce wrong. Then you can lose it to your ex. Call Trenley and Kramer, TK Law. We do divorce. One firm for life.
Thank you for calling Navy Federal Credit Union. How can I help you?
Hi, if I'm in the Army, not in the Navy, am I still eligible for membership?
Yes, you are.
What about my sister in the Air Force?
Her too.
And my dad's a Marine.
We serve all branches of the military, veterans, and their families.
My dog is a retired military working dog.
I'll see what I can do.
Find out if you're eligible at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
In St. Pete Clearwater, the fun extends beyond the beach because here the arts are alive, the food is al fresco, and the nightlife is electric. So let's wander from Shoreline to Central Avenue. Let's explore captivating collections at the Dolly Museum and bask in bay views from the St. Pete Pier. Let's fill up on fresh-caught cuisine and catch up over crisp craft beer on rooftop patios. Day or night, let's shine. Plan your escape at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Lots of people hired us. We've collected over $15 billion and won a lot. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Oh, when my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And who wouldn't crave pizza with dough made fresh for a perfectly golden crust? 3 delicious, melty cheeses and savory toppings. I'm craving some Old World pepperoni right now. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Price and participation may vary. See store for details.
Anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa. One jackpot is paid out every minute on the hottest slot machines and table games. With over $2 billion in jackpots paid out in the last year, you could be the next lucky winner. Seminole Hard Rock Tampa has over 800 rooms and suites, a luxurious rock spa and salon, award-winning restaurants, and an exciting comedy and concert lineup, including pool parties with world-renowned artists. With a variety of gaming, dining, and entertainment options, anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
This hour of programming is sponsored by Nissan. We make cars that thrill. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
On the free iHeartRadio app, you never pay to hear what you love, and you never wait to hear what you want. Save your money, save your time, and listen anywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. When dining out or shopping at the grocery store, ask for sustainable seafood. By choosing sustainable seafood, you can help reduce overfishing, bycatch, loss of top predators, illegal fishing, and other harmful environmental impacts. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial #546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
The world is so backwards these days. I see this video, and I'm just reading a story as we come back on the air. As the lawyers for the Roman Catholic Church want to cancel or drop the case against Theodore McCarrick, 92-year-old, once powerful priest, pleaded not guilty in September of 2021 for molesting kids, going back to 74. Said he's not fit to stand trial. Doesn't remember anything. I know who does, though. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. We were talking about this case out of Flagler County because we just put the video up of this kid, 17-year-old kid, special needs kid. Does it say what his disability is, by the way? I haven't heard that mentioned once. They just say special needs, and I just had a texter send in and say he was in a special class and was only around kids once a day or something like that.
No,
I haven't heard either what his disability is.
Probably could be a HIPAA violation.
Well, yeah, I don't even know if we can know that.
Yeah, I guess not. But the video is up now at JimColbertLive.com if you want to see it. Yeah, Jack?
Does he have what's his family situation as well? Because we heard when this first broke that it was part of a group home or something. But was that, I don't know if that's factual, but this is just something that's going to continue to devolve. What happens when you have someone who's mentally ill? Was that what is he suffering from? Is he bipolar or what? Because obviously he snapped where it's a disproportional response to what's happened. So,
he could also be autistic.
Right. So what is his scenario there? And now you're going to introduce him as 17 into adult prison system where he's not going to get any mental health treatment, then it's just contain until he gets out, and then the situation has not gotten better.
Yeah.
It's just systemic of a mental health crisis that we're experiencing in this country. It's how we treat it and how we deal with it. And the prison system seems to be the catch-all for people who are mentally ill, and there needs to be kind of something before we get to this point where a poor woman is thrown for feet in the hallway on her job and knocked unconscious and then beaten.
Yeah. Lucky to be alive, right? Would you guys agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't.
Well,
you wouldn't agree with that?
I don't think that was a... if that's the case, then every physical altercation is life-threatening.
With a 6'7", 260-pound kid, you think all physical altercations are equal?
Plus, she's
Do you think
older.
if you and I fight, it's going to be equal to if you fight that kid? Do you think if you fight Jack, it's going to be the same as you fighting that kid?
What I'm saying is that if you consider every physical fight, one person versus another person, a life-threatening thing, which is, and you know what, I can get on board with that because there's been so many times where a bar fight always ends up with a death. You know, a fight goes too far.
Yeah.
So I will give you that. But
I'm talking about this specific situation, attacked from behind by a guy who outweighs her by at least twice. Attacked from behind by a kid who outweighs her twice, pushed her to the ground, knocked her unconscious, and then gets on top of her and starts beating her. And luckily didn't hit her accurately enough in the back of her head or whatever to cause any major damage. Well, I don't know that yet because we don't have a report on how she's doing. I haven't seen anything yet.
I haven't either.
Other than obvious trauma. 407-916-1041. We do have some phone calls from teachers and whatnot. Let's talk to James first. Hey, James, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, brother.
Yeah, I have a special needs daughter that we had in the public system and was in St. Johns County, so it was in a great public school system. And there's just no level of support for kids like this. And yeah, they put them in a public setting and then try to integrate them with the rest of the kids. And it just doesn't work. And there's no support for it. And we just witnessed so many times in the school that my daughter wandered out of the class, you know, and then we get reports that she was walking around the halls. And I'm like, my gosh, you think of a school system with that much money. Imagine the ones that are poorer that can't afford it.
Yeah, you know, my ex was my ex-wife was a speech pathologist for Orange County Public Schools for a short period of time, and she worked over at Carver Middle School. If you're familiar with Carver is in a not too desirable part of town.
Yeah,
and you know, in the year and a half or 2 years I think she worked there, they found a body on campus burning. And another person, I think, dead in a car near campus. She was stabbed by a student twice, but she dealt with autistic kids. Stabbed once with a pencil and stabbed once with a pair of scissors.
Ow.
And we know that there are challenges with that, you know, and obviously you learn. Again, these kids were middle schoolers, you know, anywhere from, I think, 6th to 8th grade or whatever, and obviously not saying that we've seen middle schoolers that could cause some damage. This is a high school kid who is, you know, 6'7", 275 is what somebody just texted and said how big he is.
Yeah.
That's okay.
17-year-old, he's a man.
So grab Angel from the Monsters.
Right.
Add an inch to him and add 40 pounds, 50 pounds. That's the kind of human being you're talking
and
about.
then have him run at me because she looked like she was about
your size.
About my size.
Throw you on the ground and
a
jump
little
on top
bit
of
thinner.
you and start punching you.
Yeah.
And then kicking
and
you
a
in the
little
back of
bit
the head.
older. She tries to put up her hand to kind of defend herself, and he just picks her up and just drops her, and then proceeds, like you said, Jimmy, to just wail on her, which is why, for those who haven't heard during Woke News, the video is brutal, but you can see it at JimColbertLive.com. Today we mentioned the story because the state prosecutor has decided that he will face adult charges for attacking this school aide the way that he did, and he's also, again, being held on $1 million bond.
Yeah. Lee, how are you, buddy? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good.
So I actually am a substitute in the same county, in Flagler County, and so forth. And I've had experiences where I've went into classrooms and in the behavioral classrooms, and they've actually physically assaulted me, hitting me, throwing books, binders, all that kind of stuff at me. And all that happens is the teacher is the one that gets in trouble, and nothing happens with the student.
Yeah, and by the way, we thanks for your call, buddy. We that was a Marine recruiter in that video. It was on an ROTC.
Oh, okay.
Or so it was, and somebody just said if that Marine recruiter would have taken any action, it would have been a world of trouble for him.
Just like what the caller just said,
yeah.
the teachers are the one who get in trouble when they restrain students, even if they're being attacked.
We had one just text earlier said there was an orange that his mother's husband, so I guess maybe his stepdad, was a teacher for Orange County and intervened into a fight that was about to happen by restraining one of the students. I don't know how, maybe headlock or bear hug or something like that, and was let go.
Yeah.
For stopping a fight. Let go. Whack. Yeah, what do you do there?
Yeah. What do you do?
What do you do? They're just running wild. You have no power. You can't fight back even. You can't even defend yourself as a person.
Right.
Much less a teacher or...
And you figure that, like, the device... You're not going to win the battle with cell phones.
No.
See, so it's already a lost cause. So, I mean, the Switch seems to be a little more egregious because that's solely a gaming system.
Why do you, just out of curiosity, why do you think the battle with cell phones and devices in classes is an unwinnable fight?
Because I think for most parents, the school shooting thing.
It's the parents.
It's the parents, and
you're not going to get support from the parents to not have it.
Look, you can't even have support from parents when your kid beats up. I mean, you still have parents defending that kind of behavior. You have parents telling kids, hey, call me and, I'll get you out of class. I mean, again, Jimmy, you touched on it earlier. When parents are trying to be their kids' friends, it's difficult when they need you to be their parents. And that more often than not means being the dick at home.
Say it, Jack.
We're doomed.
What happened to our generation of parents who thought that, I don't know.
Do you realize do you know what would happen to you, Ross, when I was in school if you just got caught with candy?
Mm-hmm.
Not a device to be able to watch whatever or do whatever in school. Just a piece of candy would get you suspended. If you got caught with a lollipop while in school, they would suspend you.
Now,
a lollipop, candy, gum, now or laters, anything like that, you would get suspended for that. Not your cell phone, candy. And now you can bring video games in the classroom. The number one thing you should not have is anything that takes your attention away from your lesson. And then they allow it in.
But that's the thing. You have that with your phone anyway, right? With what your cell phone can do. I mean.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
That level of distraction is in every one of their hands.
And saying that
of course, they're not turning notifications off. It's buzzing every 5 seconds while they're in class, of course, because they're probably texting each other while they're in class.
Like when you said that you can bring a Switch to school, I don't think you can. You can, but you're not supposed to. You're not allowed to.
But you shouldn't even be allowed to bring. Can I tell you, a Switch to me would be the least of the problems. I'm with Jack. The problem is cell phones. I mean, they should start with that and just send out a notification next year: no cell phones allowed in class, and then just deal with it. When do we care about what parents think of the school system anyway?
Oh, because that's when they stack the school board.
Oh,
well, that's what happens when you don't like what's going on, and that's the way in a democracy it is. Well, let's get representatives that we feel have our interests in heart. So you run for school board until you can change and alter policy.
Put this on the Twitter poll real quick, Jack, if you don't mind. Would you vote? It's real quick. Would you vote for a school supervisor or a school superintendent that would not allow cell phones in their school? And let's just keep it with middle schools and high schools, not elementary schools. We can assume possibly they don't have their iPhone 14 Pro out in third grade. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's still some hope for that.
Oh, man.
But ask if if your kid's school said no cell phones next year, would you be angry?
But like at that same time, you're basically saying no technology in school.
No, that's not the case at all, because the schools have tech of their own. They don't need yours there. Why do you need your phone in school? I mean, they provide you with computers or laptops to find the answers. And by the way, you're not supposed to be
that school is.
But you're not
the public school giving out laptops.
Someone just texted, my kid's school doesn't have enough iPads, so they use the kids' phones as backup.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be doing that anyway. You research that when you get home as homework. You don't sit in your class and Google the answer to everything. That's not learning. That's just looking stuff up and writing it down. You know, I used to write every one of my lessons because I remembered it better. I would take it home and write it over again. They would give it to me, and it'd be 4 or 5 pages. I would just write it, just copy it, and then look the answers up because then I could remember it. Which is one of the reasons I mean, you can't prove it now, but I used to have a pretty darn good memory. I just tell man, it's just doomed. I mean, Jackie's got it right. It's doomed. On this path, complete doom. There's no way possible you could, how many kids out of a classroom of 20 get a legit education with that kind of stuff going on? 8?
Yeah, it just becomes a bigger distraction for everyone. So, as the wording for the question, should public schools be able to ban cell phones for students?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. No allowance, no cell phones allowed in class anymore.
Yeah,
sorry, keep them home.
We have a lot of parents saying problem is the schools are asking kids to use their phones for schoolwork.
Yeah, stop doing that.
I agree with you guys, but my son has to use his phone in class.
He does not. That's incorrect. He does not. I didn't have a phone to use in class.
Yeah, well, Jimmy, come on. That's apples and mother effing oranges, dude.
It's not even close to that. Tell me what the difference in the class is today than yesterday, than it was 15 years ago.
It wasn't 15 years ago when you were in class.
40 years ago. What's the difference?
There weren't any.
40 years ago,
there weren't any.
They're learning math as opposed to 40 years ago to now. What's the difference? There's no difference.
They're not learning it. There's the difference.
That's the problem. You're right, because they have their phones in class to do the answers with. That's the problem. If you have the answer to everything, what are you learning? You're learning to Google. You do not need your phone in school for any reason. It's for any reason. Use it when you get home and do it as homework, like everybody else did. I mean, I don't get it. What's the big deal?
You had computer lab, right? Every once in a while, you never used computers in school?
85, buddy. No. Computers were just, like DOS was just there.
Your kids had it.
Huh?
Your kids had it.
My kids had it, yes.
Okay.
They weren't allowed to carry their cell phones in the class. Though.
Right.
407-916-1041. We're so late for Brandon's gig. We'll be back in a sec.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Well, we're just getting reports of a crash heading west on I-4 at the 408, taking up the center lane. Use some extra caution if you're heading this way. It's still a heavy ride, too, between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, as well as eastbound I-4 out of Polk County between U.S. Highway 27 to pass 429, and also between Osceola Parkway and 535. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Start your day at Wawa. With 2 for $5 sizzles in your favorite varieties, like a new bacon burrito. Enjoy a delicious breakfast on the go. Gotta have Wawa.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
The 111th Annual Central Florida Fair returns March 2nd through March 12th. Food, rides, games, live music, animals, and so much more. Great family fun and live entertainment only at the fair. Tickets and info at centralfloridafair.com.
More than ever, we are reimagining our homes as places of retreat. We're minimizing stress and maximizing space. We're dreaming of spa-like bathrooms, complete with beautiful vanities to hide the clutter and make room for candles. We're wishing we could de-stress in a soaking tub or under a rainfall shower at the end of a long day. Make this the year that dream becomes your reality with Home Outlet. Our guaranteed lowest prices put quality products within budget and dream spaces within reach. Visit us in store or online at homeoutlet.com.
On the podcast Really Know Really, join best friends Jason Alexander and Peter Tilden, along with experts, newsmakers, and celebrities, in a search for answers to life's most baffling, intriguing, and annoying questions. You know, those things that make you go, really? No, really?
I think there was a 17-year-old in Rhode Island who ran a candidate that was a deepfake.
Really? Wait, that's news to me. That's Really Know Really right there.
Really Know Really.
Listen to Really Know Really on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Is that a horse?
Actually, it's a wild stallion. Since Navy Federal Credit Union's Platinum Card made it easier to tame our holiday debt, I wanted to see if I could tame something else.
Uh-huh.
Help me saddle up. I need to pick the kids up from school.
With a low intro APR on balance transfers, the Platinum Credit Card lets you take control of your debt. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/Platinum offer. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Managing healthcare for yourself, your kids, your aging parents, it's a lot to keep track of everything. Now you have help. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care that's a lot more caring. Here, your doctor really gets to know your family's needs and coordinates all their visits, labs, even prescriptions. Plus, you can make same-day appointments or schedule video or at-home visits, all covered by most insurance. It sounds different because it is different. Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease, asthma,
diabetes,
and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42,
you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
with Prevnar 20.
I love going on double dates to McDonald's. And by double, I mean twice a day. And by dates, I mean quality time with my choice of a savory sausage biscuit or sausage McMuffin paired with hash browns for $2.79 in the morning. Then sneak away for either a delicious McDouble or McChicken with small fries on the side for $3.69 later in the day. Who needs romance when there's McDonald's? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid when product served.
No matter what I get, it's 20% off every day when I spend $1 on the McDonald's app. So yesterday was my please the whole fam on the way to the game meal. Today is my finally get them to stop asking, are we there yet meal. Who knows what tomorrow will be? Maybe a delicious crispy chicken sandwich all for myself meal. Whatever it is, it's a win. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through December 31st, 2023 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. McD app download and registration required.
Order your Hummer EV at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. So apparently Facebook is still a thing? Search gym members and join our group.
People are so stupid. God almighty. Anyway, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for all the texts. I really appreciate it. Even the ones who disagree and call me dumb and all kinds of fun names. I thank you for every one of them. Just keep sending them. I do not care. I like your opinions more than you anyway. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. And every single Monday around this time, we invite our good friend Brandon Kravitz to drive by. 96.9 The Game. They talk sports over there from 3 until 6 every day of the week. It's almost like it's your format.
It is the toy aisle of talk radio, is it not?
Good to see you, buddy. How's things?
It's good. I had a really fun weekend. I took in 2/3 of the major sporting events, if you're willing to call them that, in the City Beautiful this weekend. Had a beach day with the family on Sunday.
That's always nice.
Wrapped up the day.
Beautiful weather out there for the beach.
Yeah, we went to New Smyrna. It still weirds me out that you can put your car on the beach. I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, that way you don't have to walk far from the shark bite.
It is convenient.
Right, you just get right to the hospital.
And then I went to the Guardians game on Sunday evening.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool. It was televised. I got to catch, probably about 8 or 10 plays. I watched for a few minutes. Interesting. Well, I mean, they're not good. The league is, trying its best. They're not good. I don't hear anything super terrible about it.
No, I
AJ
think
McCarron is the story of the entire league right now, right?
I think the league is fine. I enjoy it as a TV product. I think going to the game, if I'm being completely honest, I think that they cater a bit too much to the fact that it's a TV product. I kind of felt like I was in an outdoor TV studio rather than at a football game.
That's kind of how the first league came off a little bit. I mean, football was the thing for sure, but they wanted to make sure the show was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wrestling thing.
And it is interesting, and very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, they made sure that all the fans were on at the hard camera, even though in football there is no hard camera. But that's a thing in wrestling. If there's not a packed house, they'll kind of slide everybody over or black out an entire side to make sure that hard camera is focused on what looks like a full house. It is so interesting to see and hear the different opinions of people that were there, like I was, and the people that were watching on TV. Everybody that I've talked to that watched yesterday's game on TV said, "Oh my goodness, the place, it looked like it was buzzing. It looked like they had a packed house."
I told you
said that you weren't the only one.
I told you that very thing. I was like, "Hey, it didn't look that bad."
Said it looks great. They're interviewing the coach on the sideline. He had a lot of really quotable moments. That's awesome. And I'm there, and I'm like, all I hear are people complaining about the sun blistering their face. And the fact that they're staring at an empty side of the stadium that's completely shaded.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was really I don't think they did their fans. I don't know who to blame. Is it the XFL, Camping World, the Guardians?
I think Jack and Ross had that same exact sentiment.
And it wasn't Ross. I went with my wife, but and we were sitting. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. 37-yard line or so. I was like there, second row. Right. I mean, perfect seats, but in the full sun all day. You can't blame that on them. It made it a little annoying seeing a whole shaded side not being used, but I totally understand. Would
you have moved?
We want it to look better, probably. Yeah,
that full light makes it look better on TV,
but
for sure.
It kind of wears you out, man. By halftime, I'm like, let's get out of here.
Yeah, and it's February.
Yeah,
and so between that and the fact that and then on top of it, the team wasn't any good. I just don't know how you expect.
Whoa, buddy.
What?
They had some plays.
They had some plays.
But they scored 9 points?
I am a supporter of spring football. I am a supporter of the Orlando Guardians. I bring someone on my show from the team every week. We had on one of their defensive linemen an hour ago. I want this team to succeed, but I'm not going to lie to people. I didn't think that the live experience was really all that good, and I don't know how you expect if that's how you're going to handle a live game situation in Orlando, because every market's different. I don't know how you expect fans to come back. And my guess is that it'll be cut in half by the next home game.
Yeah, night games is what they need.
Night games would help.
Paxton Lynch, do you know I know you probably know. Do you know how tall he is?
I don't.
He is. I saw him out there. I'm like, how big is this guy?
6'6"?
6'7".
Yeah.
Is he really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How'd he not work in the NFL? Isn't that the thing? I heard anybody in the NFL that's over 6'5" worked.
I thought he was a little guy. No, he is 6'7", 240, 250, whatever. But yeah, he had one running play for first down that I caught on video. You can see it on my Instagram.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You go ahead, give out the handle. What are you doing?
At Yankee Jack.
All right.
What up?
Actually, there's a history of tall quarterbacks in the NFL not working out. It's like there's this. There's like a spectrum to it. If you're too short, then we question you. Right. If you're too tall, you start to get questioned as well.
6'3" to 6'5", and you're good.
You really can't think of many examples of guys that are 6'6" or taller at quarterback that have. I just punched the microphone. That have worked out in NFL history.
Yeah, Josh Allen's big. I mean, he's doing all right now.
He's 6'5".
Yeah, Randall Cunningham, I think, was pretty tall. He did okay. There's a few guys. You're right. I mean, it's not really built for that. Actually, I think smaller dudes probably have done better and made more impact than the other. I mean, Drew Brees. Russell Wilson. Hey, and speaking of real quick, can we take a little side note real quick?
Sure.
Man, what about this news about Russell Wilson here recently? About him wanting to get Pete Carroll and that other guy fired before he was traded?
Yeah.
God, behind the scenes, is this guy Nightmare Diva?
I think he's become that. I mean, I think with Russell Wilson, he's not the guy that always that was like always his character, but because he's seen success and money and fame. We have a lot of examples of this in celebrities in this country, in this world, that can't handle it. And he seems like he's one of those guys. He let it all go right to his head.
It's the weirdest thing because he came off as being this humble, like kind of Christian, very, straight-laced guy, had trouble in the locker room because he was so square that he didn't fit in with the other players, didn't have that kind of vibe that the locker room had. He was just kind of an island, and now he goes to the Broncos, ruins them, and then it comes out he wanted one of the most beloved head coaches in NFL, Pete Carroll. I think is genuinely one of the most beloved dudes by players in the league.
Still should have given it to Marshawn, though.
He wanted that guy. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. But he wanted to get that guy blown out. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just so kind of weird when you learn these things. You're like, oh,
yeah,
he's
and
that
then,
guy.
And then look how the season played
Right,
out. The
yeah.
Seahawks were supposed to be one of the bottom 3 teams in the NFL. They make the playoffs. The Broncos had all the hype in the world. They missed the playoffs.
With a used car as quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, they took Geno Smith and turned him into a playoff quarterback.
And you know who gets the Broncos' first-round pick because of Russell Wilson? The Seattle Seahawks. And they look like geniuses now. It is an example. There are some players where if they start laying in the demands, you've got to follow suit because you can't afford to lose those guys. But there's so many great players in sports, and Russell Wilson was one of them, and he'll have to earn that right back. But the Seahawks made the right choice. Most of the time, if you get a star player that comes in making demands, you should send them out the door.
It's bad news.
Because the team culture is always going to win out.
He had his own space. He had his own coaches. He, in the locker room, again, you just heard over and over toward the end of that relationship, that locker room was not Russell Wilson at all. They weren't down.
And in the Broncos facility, he worked out on the second floor. Everybody else worked out on the first floor. That was one of the things that came out.
Wow.
And that the head coach that they fired, now they bring in Sean Payton, and Sean Payton has an ego himself. He's not going to put up with any crap.
The first day, right? He said that your coaches are gone, buddy.
Pretty much.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And they said that the last coach just gave in too much. He treated Russell Wilson like he was a star that he didn't play like.
Yeah.
So it's just never going to work out like that.
Here with Brandon Kravitz, 96.9 The Game, does sports over there. You can hear him every day between 3 and 6. Let's talk Orlando City Soccer. They kicked off their season this Saturday right there at Exploria Stadium with a big win. Now, it was kind of an odd win because there's no scoring in regulation time. They scored after the fact, but team looked pretty good, Ross and Jack.
Well, they scored in the middle of the fact.
The middle of the fact.
56th minute, they got a penalty kick opportunity and were able to bang it in, and that was the only score they needed. So from what I read, is I was at the Magic game as I was playing out. New York kind of dominated the match, but Orlando City just kind of like bent but didn't break, and they were able to get a goal, and the Red Bulls weren't. And this is now 9 straight seasons. Orlando City has not lost in a home opener.
Oh, really? They're just celebrating the fact that Flavia sold his house in Isleworth for $31 million.
I didn't know.
I hear it's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know Central Florida Homes ran that steep. When I saw that number, I was like, I didn't know we had those here.
Isleworth, there's a couple of them out there. I think he had one of the bigger ones out there.
Wow.
The game was great. A ton of new signings making their first team debut this weekend, and all of them kind of checked all of their boxes. Martin Ojeda is so exciting when he's on the ball, and to have that type of quality on the left side and on the right side with Torres, it's going to be a very exciting year. Now, granted, you want to see a little bit more offensive threat, at least for me. You want to see a game, you want to see a goal get scored in open play, maybe not from the spot off of a PK, but a win is a win, and I'm looking forward to this Saturday, Jim.
Look, I got to tell you, man, I don't know a whole bunch about soccer. I really enjoyed it. It's still fun to watch, but, man, the only thing with the City game that I've been to is they just don't seem to be very offensively aggressive. First couple times I'd watched them play, they just didn't take a lot of shots on goal. It didn't seem like, and it seemed like the other team was taking a lot of shots. And it could be just the game I don't understand, which I'm sure it is.
How long ago was that?
I don't know, probably 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's always plagued them, but last year it seemed like they
came in a little bit.
It still suffered from who's the guy.
Yeah.
Who is the guy?
Who's the guy?
We're still waiting to find out.
Yeah.
I thought the guy, one of the new signees, Ramiro Enrique, he looked like a really exciting player.
Yeah, I know. That guy stole some souls on that pitch, man.
Good.
He took some
people
out.
They have some guys to get excited about. One of the things that I had pointed out on my show, I got ripped unmercifully for it over the weekend because we had a wonderful sellout at Exploria Stadium. The fan base is incredible. I blame more so organizations / MLS really more so. I think because of this new Apple TV deal, the buzz for the regular season starting was nil.
Well, I tried to find it on television. I couldn't find it anywhere, and it really pissed me off. I was like, wow, man, I've got all these channels. I can't find this game anywhere.
Yeah,
I can
you
find
did.
I can find the CW.
No, you do. You have it.
No, I'm telling you, I don't.
It's Apple TV.
I know, but what I'm saying is on my regular, like a TV channel. I don't have to go to I don't have to get a subscription to see it.
It's not, and it wasn't Orlando. It was definitely an MLS deal. They made a deal with Apple TV, made a deal with the entire league. Say, we are going to take all of your games. They are going to be on Apple TV Plus, but you also need the soccer package on top of your subscription.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't seem super smart, but
you
whatever.
get all the games.
Yeah, I guess.
And so there's no locally televised games.
Man, that is
where
that's
they
rough.
Yeah, there used to be a handful. It used to be some network games and some local games.
That's tough.
Now it's all network.
I'm curious to see how that impacts the crowd as the season goes along. Are people going to be less interested because they're not following as much because the numbers are going to dwindle as far as the amount of homes that are watching Orlando City matches? Or is the group, the larger group, I'm not talking about the wall because they're getting the subscription package, I'm talking about the larger group in the general section of the audience. Do they not even really care what's going on throughout the season? They're just trying to go because it is an awesome atmosphere.
How about this? A guy like me who's on the cusp of like going to games more frequently, wanting to become more involved and learning about the team more before I make that decision. And now I have to not only buy a subscription to Apple that I wouldn't use outside of that, I have to buy the subscription to the soccer package that I'm only interested in watching one team play with.
Well, I would say I don't think that would slow you or people like you down from going to the stadium. Is that the case?
It wouldn't, but if I couldn't watch it, like I was dying to tune in Saturday evening when I couldn't make it because I just come home from Plaque. I was dead tired, and I wanted to watch the match because I knew the boys were there. And I was like, "Oh, it's nowhere," and that sucks.
We made it on the Jumbotron,
and I didn't want. And I didn't want to listen to it on the radio. No offense to radio. I just wanted to watch the game.
Considering the game was on this very station,
I know that, and I didn't want. I want to watch the game.
So
I don't know enough about soccer to listen to it and have it be exciting.
Right. The whole Apple TV thing for me, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm watching all of this extra content at a very high quality tier of content. Problem is, if you're trying to get more people involved in American soccer, Western soccer, right here in the States, that package of paying, I think it's like $80 for the whole year, that's going to hurt. I think it's great for all the fans that are in the now, like me.
Completely agree.
Who's going to, I'm going to watch everything. Of course I'm going to pay for that. But new fans... Well, like a year away from falling in love with American soccer.
And it says here, if you have T-Mobile or if you're a season ticket holder, you get the package for free. But if I'm a season ticket holder, why do I care about watching it on TV?
Away games.
Yeah,
I guess.
And plus T-Mobile is the big win there. They do it with the baseball. Let's hope they do it again with the baseball package, but also with soccer. If you're on T-Mobile, your T-Mobile Tuesday, you can get the season for free.
And I'll throw this out here, too, is that in years past, the amount of times that I've been wanting to watch an Orlando Magic game through my service provider or an Orlando City game, it's blacked out locally.
Yeah.
I've ran into that problem so many times.
So one of the things that they came up with this past season, which has helped me a lot because I only work the home games, I don't work the road games for the Magic, and I try and keep up with the team, is they have the Bally Sports app that you can get on your smart TV, and it's like $20 a month, or 15 to 20, I don't remember the exact amount, and you get all the games.
So now the Magic also doesn't broadcast on like a network where you can
They do, but I think you have to have certain cable packages in order to get Bally Sports. I have YouTube TV, so I don't get Bally Sports.
And Bally, isn't that the one that just filed bankruptcy?
And they filed bankruptcy, and they're not giving me my money back, so it's unfortunate.
This sounds great. But it makes it so easy to really support the teams.
They do it with baseball in the playoffs if they're only on TBS. Well, if you're not getting cable, you don't have TBS. That's my situation. But also ESPN for the XFL. I don't have ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
Can I give the
streaming has really helped everybody out?
I've crapped enough on MLS. Let me give them a shout out. They sent me a login of me of all people. They sent me a login where I get a free season of the MLS Pass.
Hey, you know what? They sent me one too, and I don't know why.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Shout out to the MLS.
I love them. We have no time because we started late.
Of the people.
But I do want to hear a little bit about the Magic. Give me 30 seconds on what's happening with Orlando Magic.
They lost the game on Saturday that they really needed to pick up in the standings. Indiana is right in front of them. They had a chance to be 2.5 games out and jump one of the teams that's in front of them in the standings, trying to get into the play-in, and that's somewhere for them would be like the 9 or 10 spot. They currently sit at 13. They're 3.5 games back after losing that game, and it's not like they lost. I mean, they got embarrassed in the second half. It was one of the worst games I've seen them play since they started to turn things around in early December. We talk about this all the time to the point where it's a joke on the show. Since December 5th, where they were 5-20, they're a 500 or above 500 basketball team. They have legitimately turned the corner. You can't tell by seeing the record because they started so poorly.
Right.
There are things to be excited about. I fear that the hope of actually making the playoffs is starting to dwindle. You've got to pick up wins, and the schedule doesn't get any easier. They're in New Orleans tonight.
And, of course, as you get closer, people play a lot harder as well.
Yeah, everybody's fighting for their either playoff berth or a playoff seed, and things start to tighten up once you get into February and March.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Same.
All right, 407-916-104.
You guys go back to yelling at each other.
Brandon Kravitz, 96.9 The Game, every day from 3 until 6 right there on 96.9 The Game. We'll see you later. All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast, and we have this early arrival of spring not going anywhere. Overnight, a low of 66 degrees. There could be a stray rain shower as you head up toward the I-10 corridor, otherwise dry in Orlando. Tomorrow, breezy, the high 87. 88 on Wednesday, which is also March 1st. Close to 90 for both Thursday and for Friday. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Rude Air Conditioners.
Rude Air Conditioners, engineered tough, built to last, dependability day after day, year after year. Rely on Rude. Find your Rude Pro Partner contractor at rudeacflorida.com. RUUDACFlorida.com.
Guys, let me tell you, if you're looking for a new bathroom, Rebath in Florida is who you need to be with, but you got to be careful these days. Believe it or not, you got to do research and ask questions. There are companies out there purporting to be Rebath. They're saying that they're affiliated with or they get their products from Rebath. If you hear that, run away. They are not Rebath. You got to go to Google reviews, BBB complaint, Sunbiz. Be an informed customer and make sure that you are getting the legit Rebath company. Don't be fooled by imposters. That makes a gigantic difference on the products and the quality of the job that you get. Rebath Orlando, the only company that does full, complete bathroom remodeling. And all the years I've endorsed these guys, I've never had one complaint of all the hundreds of bathrooms that they've installed throughout the Central Florida area. Not one person has ever reached out to tell me the job was bad or they didn't like it. It's exactly the opposite. And that's why the big box stores use Rebath for their bathroom remodels, because they're awesome. They're a national company. You got that coverage. You get incredible products like natural stone, travertine, and marble. You get incredible installation by their crew. It's not subcontractors. And even better, when they get the job done, a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. The imposters will not offer that. Make sure you're dealing with Rebath. That way you can get the best bathroom out there. Find their showroom, 436 Now Altamont, right across from Kobe. Slide in, look at those models they have set up, and know that those are just the products. Every bathroom at Rebath is a custom bathroom. Log on today. Check out the before and afters, then book your appointment. It's Rebath, midfla.com.
So what could you do with 8 hours? With that much time, probably a lot, right? Or nothing at all sounds pretty good too. With an 8-hour battery life, a vape device from Blue gives you the freedom to unplug. So relax, disconnect, or just let yourself focus on getting your own stuff done with a full 8 hours of unlit you time. Blue, get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fonum Holdings 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fonum US LLC.
Oh, when my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And who wouldn't crave pizza with dough made fresh for a perfectly golden crust? 3 delicious, melty cheeses and savory toppings. I'm craving some Old World pepperoni right now. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Price and participation may vary. See store for details.
Backup systems. We depend on them. Even your household budget has one. And Scott Cash Advance. Up to $500 fast with no credit check. Many locations open 24/7. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Scott. What's the best part of a Dunkin' Run? The coffee, the $1 donut, or $2 stuffed bagel minis, or $3 sausage, egg, and cheese? The answer? Yes. $3 offer available on sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich only. Exclude specialty donuts and fancies. Offer valid on medium or larger coffee. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
And now, everybody who's fueled by your local Circle K. There's flower shop owners, neighborhood bakers, awesome food truck sandwich makers, gearheads, mighty motorheads, farmers and their farmsteads, life-saving physicians and head-banging musicians, that guy who helps you change your spare, and rockstar nurses. The people we rely on every day are fueled by Circle K. Every single day, fueled by Circle K.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number? Not me. Nuh-uh. Oh no, he's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Orlando area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Office in Orlando. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Divorce? Call Trindley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Obviously, this is why YouTube was created. Obviously, at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Hey, real quick about Rebath. You heard me say that about their spot. So I have a meeting with Dave and Josh, the owners of Rebath, and I didn't even know this was a thing. But apparently there are two companies out there, and they are telling their customers, they do the same thing, like bathroom refitting, bathroom remodeling, and stuff like that. And they're telling their customers that they're quote unquote affiliated with Rebath, or that they get or they get their products from. And here's the reason why: because the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, that's who they use. When you buy a bathroom from those companies, they use Rebath to install. That's what they do, right? So that they partnered up. And those companies don't do business with chops. They only do business with people like those companies aren't going to go in business with somebody who's going to cost them money in the long run,
right?
Through bad jobs or horrible reputation. So that's why they partnered up. So these other companies don't have that relationship. They don't have that provenance. And they're out there telling people, oh, yeah, it's just like Rebath. We do the same thing. Well, matter of fact, our products are basically the same. Well, if you hear that and you're a customer, you got to shut that down. And they said that not only are they doing it, they're so blatant about it. They borrow the logo. They do everything. Like, they've had to cease and desist this company 3 times now.
I was going to say, have they heard of cease and desist?
I mean, still, the way that works, though, is it takes so much time to get through the system or whatever. Those guys could be selling bathrooms under the guise of being Rebath. And Rebath does such a wonderful job. The last thing they want is anybody out there soiling their reputation, because they do a wonderful job. And what I say is true. 8 years I've been endorsing them. We just went over that Friday, and I've not one time ever received one email or a complaint about that company, not once. And we saw a lot of bathrooms for them. So just be on the lookout. I just found that egregiously ballsy to go out there and do that. Could you imagine just setting up a convenience store and going, we're 7-Eleven, but we get our stuff from 7-Eleven. It's not exactly 7-Eleven. It's 7-Eleven adjacent.
Wasn't there a restaurant that was busted? They reportedly were selling really good fried chicken, and then they were caught bringing in boxes of Popeye's fried chicken into the kitchen
no, I didn't
and
hear that
serving
one.
it for their customers. Yeah,
I didn't hear that one.
It was out in California somewhere, and it was several years ago, and it was
That's funny. The only scam like that I remember from restaurants is when they started punching discs out of skate, the fish, and selling scallops.
Oh, yeah.
But the scallops are like $27 a pound.
Right.
And it's also, I think they were doing it out of manta rays.
The fins.
Yeah.
You got to look for. Yeah, you got to look for the. It's not the treads, but the lines in them go in a different direction from scallops to manta ray. Yeah.
Yeah, because the sea skates, it's like a ray is what it looks like. So they go underneath it in that white area and just punch out discs with a cutter, and they would sell that as scallops. And there was another one that was selling like grouper or
look at Deb. Deb looks shocked.
Well, I'm horrified.
Yeah. Selling grouper. They were calling it grouper, but it wasn't actually grouper. They were charging for grouper, which again is like $28 a pound or something.
You're horrified that people suck?
Oh, dude. That's my biggest allergy of all.
The suckiness of people has gone up a little bit lately.
It's gone up a lot.
It has seemed to have risen, yeah. Or are we just more aware of the suckiness?
No, or are we just becoming those old cranky people? Yeah,
because Ross will come in, hey, everybody, isn't it great? And it's like, no, Ross, we're doomed.
Not great.
I still have hope. I'm such an idiot.
I think what it is we see more of the suckiness now because of social media, that we don't have to meet you face-to-face to realize you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
Now we can do it digitally. We can find out you're a douchebag way in advance.
What do they call that? Like a keyboard warriors.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. We got to go to break here in a second. What do we have the rest of the day? We have Ray coming up a little bit later, so we can get something started here in a sec.
We got Ross thoughts. We got Ray. We've got trivia.
We have all kinds of stuff too. But man,
did you write trivia today?
I did write trivia today, Jack.
And the answer?
You son of a. Well, this Dilbert thing, I can hit this real quick because I don't think we're gonna.
I'm actually curious as to what he said because it keeps popping up in the news. Dilbert is a pretty popular cartoon strip, and now newspapers are bouncing him because they say it was a racist rant by the creator.
Yeah, Scott Adams is the creator of the strip that debuted. What year do you think Dilbert debuted?
Oh, 83 popped into my head.
I was going to go 89.
89 is it.
Whoa!
Yay,
89.
dong.
Oh, yeah.
Give yourself a Monday dong.
89.
There we go.
And it's basically supposed to poke fun at office culture. It's almost like The Office is a comic strip, right?
Yeah.
Making fun of people and, stuff like that.
Especially the boss.
It says numerous newspapers, including the USA Today, and a major comic distributor announced, by the way, the Sentinel announced today that they'll drop it as well.
Whoa.
After the creator described people who are black as part of a hate group that white people should get away from.
What?
And basically, what he went on to a YouTube channel chat called Real Coffee. He has one called Real Coffee with Scott Adams, and he made a comment about a Rasmussen report survey that asked whether people agreed with the statement that it's okay to be white. And in the context of that statement, 26% of the black respondents disagreed that it was okay to be white, and others, quote unquote, weren't sure if it was okay to be white. So basically, what he said was, that he's white, of course. He said he referred to people who are black as members of a hate group or a racist hate group, and said he would no longer help black Americans. Quote, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to stay the hell away from black people.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
bye-bye.
There's Edge. Bye-bye.
It's weird because, when I read the thing, he's using a reference to a study done by Rasmussen that said that black people, 26% of the black people asked if it's okay to be white. They said no. And another percentage of that group also said they were unsure if it was okay to be white. He was commenting on that. And you kind of get the idea that he was trying to maybe make a joke by saying, hey, look, according to this study, it's not good to be white. You need to stay away from all these black people, whatever. But it did not come off like that.
Yeah, no.
No.
He's no Gary Larson.
Or Burt Breathed. You can't make statements like that. What?
You got one? You want to drop a Charles Schultz here?
Good spot for it.
I'll give you one. Bill Watterson.
Oh, Bill Watterson,
Not
dude.
Pill, Bill.
Oh, right.
God. Bill Watterson.
There you go.
Air.
You should, by the way, you should not mock these comic artists. They are some of the most socially conscious statements made in the U.S. daily are from comic book artists, believe it or not, or comic strip artists.
I'm not making fun of them, making fun of myself.
Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes. Let's see, Bloom County.
You were not making fun of yourself. You were throwing shade our way because Jimmy was naming names, right?
That you couldn't make.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
aware of the far side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gary Larson.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them to rattle off some cartoons.
No, that was a backdoor way to try and be relevant. So
That's
you're
not a
getting a buzzer for
She's
that.
not a cartoon girl.
Beetle Bailey.
I remember Beetle Bailey. I used to love
it.
I worked with Beetle Bailey.
L.A. Times is discontinuing it.
I don't believe you.
The New York Times, it will no longer be publishing it.
Whoa.
Washington Post, the Plain Dealer in Cleveland, the San Antonio Express News, Orlando Sentinel, among many of them that are saying that he is gone. He tried to defend the comments. In another episode of the show, he said he'd been making a point that everyone should be treated as an individual without discrimination. You should absolutely not be racist whenever it's to your advantage. But
Oh, my God.
But you should also avoid any group that doesn't respect you, even if there are people within the group who are fine.
Whoa.
So what he's saying is, if there's a group of people and 3 people in that group do not like you, it's okay for you to dislike the entire group of people because those 3 do not care for you.
Could anybody name me Beetle Bailey's best friend? His sidekick.
Not Jughead.
No, it's a completely different strip.
Oh, my God. It's Sergeant Bilko?
But he wasn't his bestie. He used to...
He was a dog. His best friend was a dog, wasn't it?
I'm going with 0.
Okay, 407-916-1041.
Who created the strip?
I don't know.
Mort Walker.
You can text us at 77031. Back in a sec.
Real Radio 104.1 is 30 years old. Guess it's time to move out of our parents' guest house. Garage. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Authorities still on scene of a serious crash that has shut down the eastbound lanes of Aloma Avenue just before 417. Consider Colonial Drive at State Road 50 to the south for an easier ride. We'll keep you posted. Eastbound I-4 still a stop-and-go ride between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535, as well as westbound between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5, they're faster than you think. That means they'll change your oil and get you back on the road in less time than it takes to get over from the express lane to the exit ramp. Just sit back and relax while their fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
Jim Colbert Show question of the day is on Twitter. It's at Real Radio 1041. Follow us on Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Vote in the polls. We talk about it at the end of the show today and this week. It's brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com, your direct mortgage lender. This is what Brad Siebert and his team does. They find you the financing for your next home, your dream home, or maybe if you want to refinance a home where you live, you can use We Are Not the Banks, just like I did several years ago. It was fast, easy, and I got a great rate. Brad Siebert and the team at wearenotthebanks.com can work with you, whatever your mortgage needs are. Good credit, even bumps in your credit, and they deal with all types of loans, VA loans, conventional loans, jumbo loans, even no income documentation loans. For all your mortgage needs, again, the website is wearenotthebanks.com. Get started today. NMLS ID number 1169, equal housing opportunity.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Oh, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%. So we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Are you ready for Bike Week? Come join us for not one, but 2 free concerts brought to you by Rich Newsom, motorcycle lawyer. That's right, 2 free concerts at the world-famous Cackleberry Campground in New Smyrna Beach. Come out and see Confederate Railroad Sunday, March 5th, followed by Colt 4th Thursday, March 9th. Shows start at 8 p.m. We can't wait to see you there. Brought to you by Rich Newsom, motorcycle lawyer. For more details, visit bigbikelaw.com.
In the drawing room, a group of suspects gathered. The detective has solved the mystery.
Ladies and gentlemen, the butler did it.
You'll never catch me. The butler darted to his getaway car. But what he didn't know is this is a Nissan sales event ad.
Wait, what?
And his car is no match for the detective's Nissan Rogue or its standard VC turbo engine. Save on one of your own at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Now get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select models. Availability is limited. For well-qualified buyers, 0% APR financing for 36 months available on new 2023 Altima, Rogue, and Pathfinder when financed through NMAC. Must take delivery from new dealer stock. 36 months financing at $27.78 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Offer ends 2/28/23.
This Friday,
Play this with me.
Guy Ritchie, the director of Sherlock Holmes and The Gentleman, brings you the first great action comedy of the year. Don't miss Operation Fortune.
You dance, I'll play.
Starring Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, and Hugh Grant.
Game on.
Operation Fortune, rated R.
Tools Ace Hardware has everything you need to set up that perfect space outside to cozy up with your friends and family while the weather is cool. Tools Ace Hardware has the best brands and grills from Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Napoleon. And now Tools Ace Hardware carries Uni pizza ovens perfect for making handcrafted fire-roasted pizzas. Get it all assembled and delivered to your home for free when you spend $3.99 or more on grills or patio furniture at one of their 12 Central Florida locations. Or shop online at acehardware.com. Tools Ace, the backyard place.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we got Jose $210,000.
I had an accident where I was rear-ended. They tried to lowball me, and DeWitt, they stepped up and went after them and won. If you're going to go, just call Mo.
Prospective client may not obtain same or similar results.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. If you don't know what web goals are, consider yourself lucky. If you feel like helping out, go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
What kills me are the parents that say their kids have to have their cell phones on them so that they can reach them whenever they need. But those same parents grew up without cell phones in school and were able to survive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the
On a summer evening.
Sanford Porch Fest is this past weekend. I saw some pictures from Kat Ridgway on online today. I think she was at like a bigger stage or something because I mean it was crazy.
Huge crowd for it.
Oh my God, the
Not
photographs.
surprised.
Daniel from the Tom and Dan put some pictures up because they're a big part of the Porch Fest. They have a
Air T&D.
Yeah, they have an Airbnb called Air T&D. There's a little house down there they rent out where you can stay right in the action downtown there in Sanford. And they were one of the porches, which was very cool. But Kat was the number one billed artist in that thing this week.
Oh, cool.
Very cool. Well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 407-916-1041.
Busy weekend for events. There was stuff going on.
Buddy, the weather could not have been any better. I mean, you cannot get better weather than this.
Did you goose egg it?
What do you mean?
You just what did you do? I know you went down to Palatka, but you didn't go to any of the super fun events.
You were a bachelor this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't. By the way, welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jock, and Ross are here as well. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. JimColbertLive.com if you want to see the video of that kid attacking that teacher in the Matanzas school system. We were talking about that a little bit earlier today. That's still up at JimColbertLive.com. I didn't do a whole lot of anything. Saturday, went up to see my uncle, who's having some health issues. Just go up there and spend some time with him. We go to breakfast, then we just ride around and reminisce about all the days that we just kind of screwed around in Palatka.
That's kind of cool.
He was where my dad wasn't around. My Uncle Bobby was the closest thing I had to like a mentor. And even though he wasn't like a mentor in the sense of the normal stuff, he was just a solid cat that was a good human being that I got to kind of learn from, to see the virtues of just being that afternoon. And then just kind of hung out, after a day like that, didn't want to really do a whole lot. And then Sunday, my wife came home. So it was pretty much it. Friday, just stayed home. I was going to go play cards Friday night, and I just didn't have the energy to do it.
So did you do anything?
Said you were going to.
With your wife going out of town, she came back on Sunday. Did you do any extra cleaning?
Oh yeah,
anything?
I always want the house clean when the wife comes home because that trip coming back from the West Coast is brutal. Going there is pretty easy, because you go out there, it's like you lose 2 hours. So it's like a 2-hour flight or an hour and a half flight, although it's not. You land and it's 2 hours before. But coming home, she left at 8 in the morning, and I think she got home at like 2. So by the time I got her home and got everything set up and washed some clothes, made sure the house smelled good, got the bed all ready. She was tired. I take good care of her.
Got that dog in line.
How often do you wash your bed sheets? You seem like a crazy high rate kind of guy.
Believe it or not, we probably don't wash them as much as we should. What's the normal? You're supposed to wash them once a week, right?
No.
Or every other week.
I think
growing up for us, we were told that we should be changing our sheets every other week.
I think they want you to wash them once a week, though.
They're
guys.
idiots.
I think they want you to strip, and we used to do that. We used to strip the bed on Sundays. We'd get up, we'd strip the bed on Sundays, and that's the first thing we would do is we'd wash the sheets and the pillowcases.
See, and the they thing, I think that the they who want us to do that are the people who sell laundry detergent and sell sheets.
So. But they say, they hold more disgustingness than anything in your house is your sheets and your pillows. Because all that dead skin and oil rubbed all over your sheets.
Which, speaking of that, do you know you're supposed to let your bed kind of dry out and cool off before you make it? So at least 20 minutes is what they recommend.
What?
Because
my
the
bed
dust
never
mites,
cools off, kid.
But the dust mites love that little bit of humidity.
Do they really?
Yeah. So if you let it dry out and cool down a little bit before you pull the blankets back over it, you kill the dust mites that like to feed off the skin cells.
An excuse not to make your bed.
Make it, but just not right away.
Not till after your coffee.
Well, I don't do that. So when I get up in the morning way before my wife, so I sneak out of the bedroom and get my coffee and everything. She gets up around like 7. I think is when her first alarm goes off.
Do you literally sneak? Like, is it like a cartoon?
She's a very light sleeper.
So it looks like you're about to chase like Bullwinkle.
Let me ask you a question.
What up, old cartoon? What's up?
Put this on the Twitter poll, Jack.
Just saying.
Do you sleep with your bedroom door closed or open?
I know that. Yeah.
And so you live at home with Chase lives with you.
Yeah.
So you have a roommate. So I can see where you was going to be closed.
Yeah, this has been a small debate in the last couple of months.
Has it
with
really?
Me and my wife, yeah.
Over? She wants the doors to be open?
Doors open, her side, my side, doors closed. And it's mainly, though, for my dogs.
I see.
Because if I close the door, then they can't
Jack has a
find trouble.
Jack still has a kid at home, so your door has to be closed as well.
But the animals are definitely a factor.
Oh, so it has to be open so your cat can get to the litter box or whatever?
No, so
They don't scratch.
I keep the cats locked out, but 5 in the morning, you hear that.
Oh, yeah.
They'll start messing with the door.
What a pet.
And which I can ignore, but the dog stays on the inside. If he's at the door, I'm like, oh, that 14-year-old dog's got to pee. I got to get up there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, God. Then I'll curse him the whole way.
You know what, Deb? I don't know about you.
None of us do.
You're the question mark here.
What an enigma.
I would think you sleep with your door open.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't. I have a thing with closed doors.
Do you really? Not only are you afraid for this, I close and lock hours sometimes.
No, I don't blame you with that.
I do. I close and lock the door sometimes.
I do when it's sexy time.
No, no, not,
yeah.
No, none of that. I just in that way I could get to my gun faster.
Right.
Like if I hear them fiddling with the lock or something, if they get in, by the time they get to the lock, I'm firing rounds into the door.
I am that, and I'm also a freak about my windows. And I realized
you want them way
why.
open so people can watch?
No, because I had a peeping Tom as a kid.
No,
that'll do it.
And I realized how much it's traumatized me because
I am so sorry.
Every house I've ever lived in, I always had people go outside and like, okay, look in my windows. Can you see anything? Okay,
Really?
let me do my blinds this way. I planted bougainvillea underneath my bedroom window.
Yeah.
I still can see in my mind's eye. And this was when we were living on 2.5 acres.
Oh man, that's an intrusion there for sure.
I was like 10,
Oh
11.
man. Oh, everybody
And I look
dies.
up and I see the outline of a grown-ass man standing outside my bedroom window. I screamed as loud as I possibly could. My stepfather, who wasn't my stepfather yet, took off running and chased this guy. He ran into our neighbor's property and set their horse barn on fire.
Oh, my goodness.
But I realized as an adult how freakish I am about my like, if I get home and the blinds are open and you can see into our house,
You lose your mind.
I lose my mind.
Wow, we have giant pane glasses all around our
I
house,
know.
and they're open all the time.
Well, you don't. Yeah.
We're in a relatively secluded neighborhood, but
Behind a gate.
Yeah, behind a gate, but still. I mean,
know. I'm a freak about. I couldn't. I would have to, or I'm gonna go change in the bathroom. I'm a real weirdo about windows.
I don't think you would have to worry, Jim, about a peeping Tom.
Now, why would you say that, Ross?
Well, at least this weekend. I just don't know if many middle-aged men are gonna track down.
You need to watch yourself. I've lost 10 pounds.
Oh,
all right,
yeah,
and you don't know what kind of effect that has on women. You don't know.
I'm sorry. You think there's gonna be a peeping Tamantha? A Tamantha?
Could be a peeping Tanya.
Tanya? I wish I would have said that the first time.
A peeping Tamara.
Oh, she's kinky.
Yeah.
I don't.
And a little trashy.
Has that
Tammers are
ever
trashy.
happened?
Oh, a woman peeping Tom?
Oh, yeah,
I've never
a
even
woman-
heard of that.
I've
Dude,
never
I did
heard
see
of
that.
that.
I saw a TikTok video of a guy who his surveillance system caught somebody looking into his daughter's bedroom in real time.
Oh no.
So the video is him beating this guy within a breath of his life and then dragging him by his face.
What?
By his face. Guy palmed his face and drug him out into the road and left him.
You got to show me that video.
That's the ass whipping of a lifetime.
That is a dad who just caught someone staring in his daughter's window.
Yeah, we locked I shut the door and then lock. My wife, when I'm away, she will shut the door and lock it.
Oh, yeah.
And then.
See, I feel like I need more tragedies to catch up with you guys.
No, I mean,
why would you say that?
You don't want anybody. You don't want that to happen to Olivia.
No, I'm not saying that I want that to happen, but I hear like Jim locks the door so he has more time to have his gun.
To get his gun. Yeah.
And she's playing defense on the windows. And I'm just like,
What's
Hi! Hi, everybody.
This goes back to what we just said earlier, and it's not about being young or naive, but you do get more cynical when you witness more things. And we talked about how this realization, how, wow, you realize there's just a lot of jerky people out there.
Yeah.
where Ross is a bit more optimistic, and I know he doesn't like the comparison, but screw him, I'm going to do it anyway. At his age, I was that way too, a little more idealistic.
Yeah,
and then
naive.
And then the reality of the world just wears you down.
Well, what kills me though is Ross has actually had some tragedy that we couldn't even comprehend. Like I could not comprehend being mugged at gunpoint,
or being robbed,
or being
2
robbed
days on a weekend.
Multiple, as his joke says, I got robbed every day for a very short period of time.
Exactly.
Definitely did.
Watching a man get shot.
I mean, watch the guy get shot at a gas station. You have been amongst some tragedy, my friend.
And with your upbringing and stuff, I think we're all in agreement. You should be more messed up.
You really should.
I have talked to my brother about that. About once a week, I would be like, man, I'm supposed to be on heroin. But lucky for me, I just look like it.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
Twitter? Yep. We're still there. Real Radio 1041 on Twitter is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Eastbound travel on Aloma Avenue remains closed due to a serious crash approaching 417. Consider Colonial Drive at State Road 50 to the south for an alternate. Eastbound travel on I-4, a heavy ride still out of Polk County between U.S. Highway 27 to pass 429. And we're seeing a stop-and-go ride westbound between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Want to save 50% on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order during Blindster's extended President's Day sale. Hurry, sale ends March 1st. Blindster.com.
Man, it's time to start getting ready to get in shape so you can go out and enjoy this beautiful weather. But why not get your vision in shape as well? That's exactly what happened for my son and my father-in-law a few years back. They got with Dr. Filatowski, and he changed their life overnight, and the same thing can happen for you. Schedule a consultation with the leader in vision correction surgery, of course. That is the Filatowski Eye Institute, and it's easy. Simply text 1041 to 868686 and schedule an appointment now. They use the latest state-of-the-art technology, and their surgeons have all the experience you could ever want. 65,000 plus LASIK procedures performed. You are in good hands. They know what they're doing. Find out what these guys can do for you. Simply text 1041 and schedule that LASIK consultation today at the Filatowski Eye Institute.
This hour of programming is sponsored by Nissan. We make cars that thrill. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Internal Revenue Service. When you owe a personal or business tax debt and can't pay, just hearing those 3 words brings feelings of fear and anxiety, and it's only a matter of time before tax liens, wage garnishments, or bank levies happen to you. We are J. David Tax Law, a local firm right here in Florida. Your first step to resolution is our no-cost consultation. We take the time to go through your specific tax problem step by step. We explain exactly what your options are and how we will resolve your tax issue. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you, and our fee payment plans are affordable for everyone. If you have tax problems, call us now for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Got a penny? Because this week only, that's all you need at RenaCenter.com. Through March 4th, shop brand name furniture, appliances, and more. And just 1 penny pays your first week on any new online agreement. Only at RenaCenter.com. Rental purchase lease transactions offer valid on new online agreements from February 26th through March 4th. 1 penny pays for initial rental period until first renewal up to 12 days. Offer will not reduce total cost to own. Ownership is optional. Participating locations only. Visit RenaCenter.com for details.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance company, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Focus on getting better and let us take care of everything else. Our experienced team will get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Our iHeartRadio Podcast Awards are back. It's the biggest night of the year for podcast fans. Get ready to celebrate your favorites. Head to iHeart.com/podcast awards to check out the nominees for Podcast of the Year, Best Comedy, Crime, News, Sports, and more. Tuesday, March 14th, join us for our 2023 iHeartRadio Podcast Awards. Thank you. Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. From groundbreaking originals to best-selling audiobooks and the best and latest in podcasts, you'll find your next obsession at Audible, the home of storytelling. Try Audible free. Sign up at audible.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Great song, buddy.
Wish I wrote it.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack.
Greetings.
And Ross. Tequila. We had a shot today.
Did you?
A little bitty.
Yeah.
A little bitty. A little celebration.
I wasn't going to go public with that, but yeah, we
for
did.
the ratings?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They announced in the in the meeting today, our little employee rally, that myself and Russ have been at the station. This June will be 30 years.
Yeah.
Johnny Magic, our very good friend over at XL 106.7, has been here 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Pat and Taco have been here almost 30 years as well. The JRR morning show, The Fiasco. Two of the sweetest people you ever meet in your life.
I love them.
I do too. Everybody in this building is cool now.
When do you hang out with them?
We don't. I don't get to hang out much. I've done a few things with Bob. Pat is a different machine. Pat does his own thing. Bob and I have a little bit in common. Bob's a big fisherman, by the way, and used to live in the same hood. And we played a couple softball games and stuff together. We stay in contact via text and stuff. He's sweet, greatest guy ever.
I get to hang out with Taco Bob, once a year at the Labor Day Surf Fest, the NKF Surf Fest.
He's been doing that forever, which is coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, he is genuinely one of the nicest people you could ever meet in your life, and one of the most respected cats in this building, along with Johnny as well. I mean, everybody's so well liked. 407. I'm the only jackass that nobody really cares for that's been here for that long. 407-916-1041. So I told you guys you may have an eating disorder.
Yeah. And you said you read a list and you actually do something or have something on that list.
So this is a neat little story from CNN. It says, here are the signs of an eating disorder, the ones you know about and the ones you don't know about. So run off the ones well, let me do this real quick. Let me tell you exactly what they say an eating disorder is, right? What defines an eating disorder? Put it simply, they say, quote, an eating disorder is a psychiatric disorder characterized by found disturbances in eating and feeding behavior that causes significant impairment to one's ability to function normally. In other words, you put food on a certain level where it becomes more important than other things in your life that should be more important than food or how you treat it.
Bulimia, anorexia.
Those are the two major ones, right? Those are the ones you know about for sure. It says what an eating order isn't or disorder isn't and what it is. And they're saying here that persons with eating disorders simply change their eating habits and then they will be fixed. That's what people say. Well, if you're hungry, if you're anorexic, just eat.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is eat. But what you don't understand is it's way, way more than just whether you're eating or not eating. It's the mentality that comes with what that food represents, which is not good for a lot of people. Anorexia nervosa is the one that we know about. That's where you starve yourself, basically, and you have a disproportionate view of what fat is.
Body dysphoria. You see fat where other people do not. Karen Carpenter, for those who do not know, the famous... Did she sing with her brother?
Yeah.
Singer.
Yeah.
Richard Carpenter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ross, you're the greatest. And they count calories because of an intense fear. Now, the word is important there, fear of gaining weight. They have a lot of strict rules around food. They check ingredients. They secretly eat. They avoid eating in front of people.
And if you want to talk about where social media can be absolutely insidious.
Through eating disorders?
Oh, sites that are devoted to helping you be a better anorexic.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Bulimia nervosa is the cyclical condition where somebody eats a lot of food, then, of course, they purge it. They throw up on purpose.
Binge and purge.
Do you know what one of the first things I learned about that is? You know one of the first signs of bulimia is, guys?
Dental decay.
Yeah, dental decay.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the stomach acid.
Yeah, the acid rots the enamel off of your teeth. So when you see somebody and they look a certain way and they smile and their teeth are all ratchet, there's a possibility that could be happening.
It may not be meth.
Yeah, it may not be meth.
They could just be English.
If they're carrying a Louis purse. Big Austin Powers fans.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of things.
I love you, England.
Binge eating. We know what that is, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the most common one, by the way.
Yeah.
The most common eating disorder is binge eating. Large amounts of food, often quickly, to the point of discomfort. And I used to do that. Not frequently, but I would do that.
I bet a lot of people did that. It's kind of like that mindless hand-to-mouth eating while you're watching TV kind of thing.
I pull up short on dinner because I know I want to eat pretzels after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and watching TV.
Where's your favorite binge spot? If you're going to binge food somewhere, where is it? I got two.
Oh, it's the living room.
You got two spots?
I got two spots, dog. Fogo de Chão.
Oh.
Fogo de Chão.
I'll stick with the living room.
And my favorite little Chinese buffet right around the corner here.
Oh, yeah.
So
Buddy,
you're
let me
talking restaurants?
Brother, I'm talking about getting loose. I'm talking about paying one fee and then making them pay all day. That's what I'm talking about. I go to that Fogo de Chão and make people have you ever had meat sweats? Like legit meat sweats?
That itis.
Oh man, I have to go outside and cool off.
Shooting beef throughout your pores.
Oh, it's awful.
Show title.
Here's the one that makes it real interesting though. This is where they start bringing in the fun acronyms.
Okay.
Avoidance restrictive food intake disorder, also called ARFID.
All right. So what's
ARFID? What do you think? What do you think ARFID is?
Well, say the acronym again.
Avoidance restrictive food intake disorder. There's a very common term for this, and kids get called this a lot. Jack is one of these.
Picky.
Jack is a picky eater, or he used to be before he became a foodie.
Yeah.
But you were a picky eater. Would you agree with that?
I used to be, yeah, but I mean, for years I've really expanded. It's like, I'll eat just about anything now, except cottage cheese. That's
cottage
disgusting.
cheese
And by the way,
is good,
this
man.
is one of the
disgusting.
This is one of the newest recognized disorders. Is this ARFID thing?
Yeah,
it's just someone who got tired of cooking for a picky eating child.
But it's with kids, right?
Chris is a picky eater.
But you just give them the things they like, and then that's all they have.
You know who the pickiest eater I've ever met in my life is? Scott Maxwell's wife.
Whoa, let's out her. Yeah.
Oh,
let's go.
Look, it's a running joke with all of us. I mean, everybody knows it. Like I talked to Amy Drew about it, and because she's known Scott a long time. They both work at the Sentinel, and his wife is a very picky eater. She's a meat and potatoes girl. She says it all the time. I'm a meat and potatoes girl. She doesn't like sushi or anything like that. Doesn't take a lot of chances. When we go out to dinner together, I have to make sure we book a restaurant that's got it's got stuff I know it's going to make Cindy happy. This thing is a disorder characterized by avoiding groups of foods. It may be misunderstood as picky eating, but it's a way bigger issue. The disorder may show a lack of interest in eating food, avoiding specific sensory characteristics in food, or having concerns about the consequences of eating, such as vomiting or choking. In other words, they won't eat in certain things because they've heard people choke on it.
Right.
There goes hot dogs.
Right, exactly.
Only if you cut them in discs.
It can cause a problem with having energy or nutritional needs because you're only eating the one thing. I had somebody in my life that only ate bean burritos.
Oh,
that's all they ate.
Lord.
Bean burritos. Microwave bean burritos every day, twice a day.
So I'll go through.
And they look like they only ate bean burritos.
I would imagine.
Rail of a human.
Yeah, they were skinny, right?
Oh.
Yeah, if it's those microwavable ones that I'm thinking about right
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
those are kind of small and they are delicious.
Yeah.
See, I've had a microwavable bean burrito phase in my life. I go through phases, but I never say no to food.
But that was a money thing for you, right?
Kind of. It was more of an ease thing.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, just because it was just easy to throw it in the microwave and eat.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy good food, and I feel like
you have a much better palate than you give yourself credit for. By the way,
I would agree with that. But at the same time, more times than not, I still look at food as more of an errand that I can do well or bad. And I try to make the errand good in the sense of, it's got celery with it. Or
Right.
it's not fried.
Right.
You know, I try to do that. That's how I look at food right now.
Yeah, fried's like one of the worst things. Like vegetable oil in general is one of the worst things you can put in your body. The other one they talk about, here's the thing, it's called OSFED. OSFED. Other feeding and eating disorders is what they call it. OSFED.
Here we go.
And other specific food feeding disorders is basically when someone is experiencing significant eating disorder, but may not align exactly with the diagnosis criteria of conditions mentioned above. In other words, what this one is this. You go too far the other way. Orthorexia, for example, is a term used to describe a fixation on eating in a way a person determines to be healthy but is overly rigid and can cause stress in situations when they have to stray from their plans. In other words, if you are trying to be very healthy and you're like, I don't eat fried food, I don't eat this, I only eat grilled chicken, I only do this, and you restrict yourself to a diet that's so restrictive that you don't wind up getting the nutrition you really need. Because you think you're eating so healthy, you're not taking in enough fat, you're not taking in enough carbs. Fat is salt, which is all completely necessary for the human body.
Especially the brain.
Exactly. A pattern in which people have behavior similar to anorexia or bulimia, such as restricting calories, following rigid rules, and doing strenuous exercise, as well as monitoring protein intake to achieve a muscular body. So the people you see out there that are ripped and working out and taking care, those guys could actually have an eating disorder if they're not taking in the proper amount. Now, I will tell you, do you guys remember when my daughter went through that whole thing when she was training to be the...
Oh, yeah.
And did you see the shape she was in?
Yeah.
It was beyond unreal.
Yeah.
What it took to get her there almost broke her down twice. I mean, 2 situations where she looked confused. Like in a regular day, you used to ask her a question and she looked confused. She was starving herself of so many nutrients to get that skin so tight to her muscles to make it look so muscular. It was dangerous.
Wow.
Myself and my father-in-law, her grandfather, basically, we didn't forbid her from doing it again because she's an adult. We just let her know that we were not going to support it anymore, that we wouldn't come to the things anymore, that we couldn't see ourselves supporting it. She did it once. She wanted to prove herself she could do it. She entered she won the first thing she entered, and she looked great. When you look at her, you're like, wow, man, yeah. I mean, as far as a specimen for muscle and shape, you look wonderful. She couldn't have been more miserable. Because my girl likes to eat. I fed her as a kid. All my kids love to eat. And she was eating like half a can of tuna would be her lunch. And like a cup of rice. That's lunch. She was eating like cinnamon and drinking. It was just the craziest thing ever. Like no nutrition at all.
It's that saying that and applies to just about everything. That's why it's cliche that moderation is the key, right?
Yeah.
And so any extreme is just going to be too much, and it's...
Have you ever met anybody with a severe eating disorder? Do you ever know anybody with one? It says only 1 out of 10 people deal with them. So that's only 10% of the country. That's still a gigantic number, and they don't have to be super severe. I think that people believe that if you have an eating disorder, that everybody's going to look like Karen Carpenter or be puking on the side of the house or something after dinner.
I actually wondered about my kids at times, but then I remembered when I was a teenager, I would just eat, whether it was junk food or stuff, and when it was solely up to me to choose, I was not making the healthy choice.
Oh, yeah.
I try and kind of filter that before I just sit in judgment and watching the crap that my daughter eats. I'm like, oh, you're going to regret that.
Oh, yeah.
I was a picky eater, and then a big event happened
What was
when I
that?
was a kid. I was out at a fast food chain. Don't want to give them any free pub.
You hold it back, dog.
Yeah.
But it was...
Let's don't blow them up.
This is one of the few memories that I have of all of my family. My mom, my dad, and my brother are at this fast food restaurant.
All right.
And they are yelling at me to try a cheese stick.
Okay.
And
at a fast food restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's only one of them.
Okay. That does the cheese stick thing?
That does the cheese stick thing.
Okay, dude.
And finally, I came to grips because I thought it looked like a brown turd or something.
Okay.
I was so disgusted and repulsed by the look of a mozzarella cheese stick. and then I took a bite, and then the cheese
burnt your face
off. It was
off?
a little hot, but then I fell in love. I realized that, oh my God, this is the most delicious thing. And ever since then, I've always
You're
was. I
a
was
cheese
very,
stick kind of guy?
I for sure am, but I've always been very welcoming to trying new things.
What's the most out-of-the-box thing you've ever eaten as an adult?
I can
Ants?
tell you.
Or they eat the bugs that Amy Drew brought us?
Some of those. But I'll tell you, I think one of the most out-of-the-box things that I adore, is seaweed salad.
Oh, really?
I could eat pounds of seaweed salad.
I think a lot of people would have a hard time eating oysters.
Yeah,
like you and I would.
some oysters.
You and I would hurt each other eating those things.
Yeah.
Jackie, you ate oysters as well.
Yeah. I used to shuck them.
I love conch.
Mark that.
From the conch shell.
Oh, yeah.
With coconut rice and breadfruit.
Good save.
Gotta pound it.
Were you a...
yeah, you gotta pound your conch.
Were you a... I heard that somewhere. Did you...
The Bible?
No.
What?
The guy that used to work here said that every day as he went off the air.
Oh, so the Bible.
Pound your conch.
Yeah. Phillips, 3:15.
I grew up with, I'm from Wisconsin, but my mother's from South America.
Yeah,
so,
you get a bunch of that.
Oh, a whole bunch of different cultural things.
Man, I got to tell you, the first time I took a bite of sushi, I was like, it's a whole new world. Life changed that day.
That was my cheese stick event.
Yeah, life changed that day. When I ate sushi for the first time, and I was probably not that, I was embarrassingly old. When I tried my first bite of sushi, and that was the floodgate. It's like somebody just took Pandora's box and shot it. I just there's no going back in this. This is if this is where it begins, and it was a simple ass roll. It wasn't even anything impressive, and I was like, oh my God.
This is the only time you liked anything Californian.
I was like, oh my God, this is so unbelievable, and then I just became addicted to it. Yeah, and then the other thing is just eating sea urchin. Have you ever had that?
The black spiky thing?
Yeah, the black spiky
Haven't
thing.
done that.
That's an interesting machine. You ever had sweetbreads?
Mm-mm.
You know what the sweetbread is, Ross?
Like I'm going to sound white here. The Mallorca bread?
No. It's really not a bread at all.
Oh, okay.
It's I think it's a thalamus gland.
Weird.
Of a cow or a veal.
Why are they calling it bread?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the actual name of it in your I think it's called the sweetbreads. I think that's what they call it in that's the part. It's called that. And then you just saute them lightly in a little bit of butter, and it's supposed to be amazing. I've had them. They're very beefy and delicious. But it's a weird look. It's like meat cauliflower, which is
dope.
Yeah, it's odd.
But I mean, cauliflower, and then you put it meat shaped.
Yeah,
it might
no.
sound a little,
It
might get a little weird.
It's very out there, but it actually is pretty good. That's the most adventurous thing you've ever had?
No.
What is that?
God, the most adventurous thing.
You ever had caviar?
Yeah, I've had caviar.
Caviar is interesting.
Don't like it.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Salty BBs.
I don't know if I've had good enough caviar to make that decision. I've only eaten it twice, and it was with something else, so I don't really know.
Most overrated thing?
Caviar.
Truffle.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had, the black truffle.
I've had good ones as well, and I think it's overrated as well.
Yeah. Does it taste good? Yeah, it's all right. It
doesn't need to be on everything, though.
Oh, it's not even that. It doesn't need to be exclusive for rich people.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, no, it does.
It is because
of the search.
It's hard to produce and all that, but that, you're not.
You have to have truffle sniffing pigs.
Look, man, they come around, and Ross is right. I went to this Italian restaurant once, and it was actually one of those omakase dinners, where you go and they serve you food. And the chef comes out, and it was a pasta dish, and it's a tasting dish, so it's only maybe, it's just a little bit of pasta. It's not enough for 3 spoonfuls or whatever. And the whole idea is to taste it. And he came around, and he opened this little box, and he had this little slicer, like a little mandolin.
Yep.
And he got the little truffle out, and he's ripping it, and he's acting like he's sprinkling gold dust on my pasta. And they're like, oh, my God, that's black truffle from so-and-so and so-and-so. And you could smell it. It smelled delicious. And I tasted it. And I'm like,
it's like a little nutty.
I'm not impressed.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's good. I mean, there's no question it's good. But I wasn't, knocked over by it. But it was good.
It's a very different experience doing that, though. That's far more preferred than truffle oil or anything like that.
You don't do that. They'll trash you if you get truffle oil. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Load them up. Trivia is next.
Real radio is the news junkie.
What is the capital of Puerto Rico? Sealand.
Puerto Rico. San Jose?
That is incorrect, Sean.
San Juan.
San Juan is correct.
Mix my Juan and my Jose.
You never do that. Never do that.
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
This is Pro Bowler Sean Merriman. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
As we get set for NFL Combine Week, could Will Levis be the quarterback we're sleeping on? He was overlooked coming out of high school, had to transfer from Penn State to Kentucky, didn't play with top talent, but he's smart. Mom went to Yale, finance degree, huge arm. 2/3 of the NFL quarterbacks went to non-traditional schools. Levis could be next. I'm Colin Cowherd.
During Staples Teacher Palooza, teachers save big, or you save. It's the perfect time to help your favorite teacher stock their classroom. Save 25% on classroom decor. Plus 2-ounce bottles of Purell hand sanitizer at just 49 cents. In-store only. Offer ends 3/11. Hurry to Staples today.
Man, when it comes to your bathroom, if it's not nice in your house just doesn't feel complete. It's that simple. The great thing is you have Rebath in Florida to help you with that problem, and they're awesome people. Dave Denbauer and his son Josh run the one up in Altamont Springs. That's the Rebath in Florida that you know, and these guys are awesome. And here's what you got to be careful with. We just talked about this earlier today. I had lunch with them last Friday, and they told me there are people out there, and they're acting like they're with Rebath. They're basically telling customers, hey, yeah, we get our products from Rebath, or we Rebath affiliated, and it's killing these guys because the jobs they're doing are not good. You're not getting the same quality products. You're not getting the same service. You're not getting the same install. Rebath does not want that to happen to you, so be careful if you hear somebody out there saying they're with Rebath, but they don't have the T-shirts. They aren't in the vans. Pay attention because it could cost you money. Get with these guys, though, and you're going to get a beautiful bathroom. Natural stone, travertine, and marble, all those beautiful colors, and they have everything you need. Once you hire Rebath, you're done. The tub, the tile, the sinks, the lighting, the cabinetry, it's all there from brands you've known forever. Kohler, Moen, Toto, Birch Cabinetry, those are all the companies they install. This is quality stuff. And when you drop by the showroom, you're going to be able to see that and pick something out that you're going to love and have their design team make it. They know all the trends, so they got you covered. Hop online, look at those before and afters, then book your appointment. It's RebathMidFLA.com.
This Friday, play this with me. Guy Ritchie, the director of Sherlock Holmes and The Gentleman, brings you the first great action comedy of the year. Don't miss Operation Fortune.
You dance, I'll play.
Starring Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, and Hugh Grant. Game on. Operation Fortune, rated R.
Sometimes the easiest upgrades make a home feel brand new, and new flooring is often one of those updates. Swapping worn-out floors or dated-looking carpet for luxurious wood-look vinyl plank is a quick and affordable way to transform a dated space into a modern home you can be proud of. With the largest selection of in-stock vinyl plank flooring at the guaranteed lowest price, Home Outlet is the destination for all of your home remodel needs. Visit the team at your local 100% employee-owned Home Outlet today.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trendley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trendley Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Get ready for an unprecedented diamond buying opportunity at International Diamond Center. 3 days only, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. IDC is opening the vault with the largest selection of hand-picked diamonds ever seen here. And you can buy like a dealer buys. Choose from thousands of GIA and Forever Mark diamonds. These are the best of the best. Certified by the world's top gem labs. Ethically sourced and hand-selected for remarkable brilliance. Rare, precious diamonds at prices never seen before. Rounds, princess cuts, emerald cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from 1 carat to 20 carat diamonds, all on sale. It's IDC's largest and most aggressive public diamond buying event ever. And if that wasn't enough, we're offering long-term zero-interest financing on any diamond purchase. Plus, for these 3 days, you get extra savings and incentives on all engagement ring mountings, including the entire collections from both Tacori and Veragio. Don't miss this amazing opportunity. An open-to-the-public multi-million-dollar diamond buying event next weekend only, March 10th through 12th, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando area locations.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Orlando area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Office in Orlando. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Easy Cater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backup singers. So right before this important meeting, I get a text from Easy Cater that the restaurant lost power.
No electricity.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? But Easy Cater was like, don't worry.
No sweat.
They got another restaurant to fill the whole order. And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way.
Inflection is everything.
Problem with your order? Easy Cater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants.
Easy Cater.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
We got your back.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
This hour of Real Radio brought to you by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming March 1st.
Are you offended yet? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
It's crazy how personal devices are just everywhere now, being used for everything. Once upon a time at my job, working in a big fancy luxury hotel, we were not allowed to even have our phones out if we were out in a public space. It was just not allowed. And now, the company I work for demands we use our own personal phones to use the company apps to do our jobs. So it's just been a 180-degree shift in how everything works.
Unbelievable.
She's a very kinky girl.
Welcome
My
back to the
theme
Jim.
song.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is right there. Hi there. And Ross has the sauce jar.
All aboard!
Chugga chugga.
Choo choo. Lickety clack. Lickety clack.
I have a pair of passes to the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Dude, have you seen the field?
I have.
Get out of here.
It's like the top 45 out of the top 50 players.
John Rahm, Rory's going to be there. I mean, all the ballers.
And now these passes too, Jim. This isn't just like any Joe Schmo Arnold Palmer Invitational. These tickets are good for the White Claw deck.
Oh, it's on the. Yeah, that's great. What hole's that?
Could not tell you.
Yeah, I think it's number
But
16.
you also have the freedom to go ahead and walk around on the grounds with these tickets as well.
Very nice.
These tickets are only good for Thursday, March 2nd.
All right.
It's Colin sick.
Yeah. A little stuffy.
Thinking about it, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see me there.
Let's go. And that is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. You know, they have fully trained expert moving crews that are adept in packing your things, handling your furniture, safe driving, customer service, and so much more. Speaking of the more part, if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, that will get you a discount. So book them today at centomoving.com. That's C-E-N-T-O. Moving.com. Nice time on that clickety-clack.
Thank
Back
you
to you.
so much, Deborah. Ross, who's first today?
Let's welcome Etchy.
Etchy, right up top. Etchy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to see you, buddy. You want to play a little game with us?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Game show.
All right, Etchy, this is a very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is untrue. It's a lie. If you can sniff that one out, I will send you to the API. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here we go. On this day in 1878, Charles Strite, Strite, invented the pop-up toaster.
Oh.
Here are 3 fun facts about toasters and 1 burnt lie. Number
Love
1.
toast.
In America, the average family spends 35 hours a year making toast. Number 2, toasters cause more kitchen injuries than knives. Number 3, the very first electric toaster was made by Hot Point, and it was called El Tosto. Or lastly, the toaster came before sliced bread. Which of those is a lie?
Oh, God. Okay. Well, most toaster injuries, isn't it when you stick a knife in the toaster? So that's kind of competing. I'll go with number 2.
Oh, man, you nailed it right off the bat. You're a winner.
Wow.
Yay!
Wow, I thought that would be the hardest one to get. Unbelievable. And you know what? The funny thing is, it's Mondays. I'm losing on Mondays like crazy. The last 4 Mondays, they've gotten on the first try, but nobody got it out the rest of the week. Last week, they got it on Monday, first try, but nobody else did.
So write your trivia on Friday.
Maybe I should. In America, the average family spends 35 hours making toast every single year.
So that is true.
That's true.
What was number 2?
The toasters cause more injuries than knives.
It's got to be close.
That's when you combine the 2.
Burns are the number 1 injury, but it's ovens and gas burners. It's not toasters. Knives are the 3rd biggest cause of injury.
Wow.
In the kitchen. Burns usually by steam, liquid, spills, stuff like that.
Touching the units in the oven when you
That's
go
right.
to lift something out.
The very first electric toaster was made by Hot Point, and it was called El Tosto.
That's what I figured.
And that's what I thought everybody would choose. That's the one because it sounds so. But everything they made back then was like El Baco,
right?
El Sliso. And it was like that. I don't know why. And the very
cultural appropriation.
And the toaster did come before sliced bread.
What?
Yeah, back in the day, you'd have to slice it yourself, and then you toasted it. And the first toasters weren't pop-up, and they didn't have timers. And matter of fact, they were a nightmare because they burnt a lot.
Wasn't it the like the cages you would slip the bread into, and you would actually put it like the old cast iron
that's
stoves?
like camping toast.
So yeah,
exactly.
Funny you should mention that.
Even our bread is in cages.
Here's some things you may not know about toasters before we get over to Ross Thoughts. Before the toaster, ancient Romans put bread on sticks and roasted them over a fire. So just like with camping now, you can either do it with one of those basket things or do whatever and just kind of hold it over the fire. It'll toast it nice. Toasters were very popular in the 20s and 30s and very expensive. Actually, it was one of the number 1 wedding gifts because it was so rare.
Oh, man. I would have been bummed out if someone gave me a loaf of bread.
Yeah. The toaster cost about $25 in 1920. How much do you think that is now? And trust me, you ain't getting this gift if you're a wedding.
How much in 1920?
$25.
It's got to be 75 now.
Oh, Jack.
More?
I'm going to go 150.
Oh, Deb.
Oh, 500.
No,
swing big. Swing
no,
big.
No,
swing big.
I'm going 155, and I'm grabbing the dub.
You are grabbing the dub. $400 in today's money.
Well, that explains why they always talk about getting a new toaster as a wedding gift.
Yeah.
I could never understand why.
Because in the day,
something you could get at Walgreens.
In the day was like getting somebody a microwave.
But yeah, exactly.
The word toast is derived from the Latin word tostum, which means to burn or scorch. There you go.
It's also what I'm going to be calling that one space and never mind.
Okay. And then lastly here, I don't know what that meant. Lastly,
none of us do.
The world record time for eating a slice of toast is held by a guy named Anthony Falzon. He's a single man from Malta. How long do you think it took him to dispose of 1 slice of toast?
3 seconds.
All the way down, by the way. This is not just putting it in your mouth. All the way down.
0.8.
0.8 seconds. It's actually longer than that. It was a little surprising. Jack?
We could beat this.
Longer than 0.8?
Yeah. Well, I went low.
2.
Yeah, no, 8.5 seconds. That's the world record for eating a slice of toast is 8.5 seconds. But when you think about eating a slice of toast in 8 seconds, it's a lot more than you believe.
Well, because it's crunchy and it can cut the top of your mouth.
It's soaking up all the moisture in your mouth.
Bruh, I got this.
I don't know, dude.
You don't think you guys can eat 1 piece of toast in 8 seconds?
Yeah, I don't know.
Starting now.
I don't have toast, Jack.
How's it taste? Kind of dry
Done.
in your mouth?
That's it. You're done.
No, I'm not.
That's 8 seconds. No,
He's timing it.
No, that's 8 seconds. You still couldn't have done it. You couldn't have even gotten it in your mouth in 8 seconds.
I could have. Am I able to fold before it enters?
Okay, and go.
I don't have bread, Jack.
Well, you're losing your time.
Yeah, I'm going to lose
5,
today.
3, you're over.
7,
2,
8.
1.
By the way, the Central Florida job market more competitive than ever. Don't be discouraged. Attend Florida Jobs Now job fair. That's March 1st, tomorrow, or this Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Noon until 4, Orlando Science Center. Over 70 recruiters right there in Central Florida. Some offering on-the-spot interviews. Your next career could be right in front of you. That's March 1st, Wednesday. Florida Jobs Now fair at the Orlando Science Center, presented by SeaWorld and Aquatica. Deb's going to be out there.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it off at noon until 1 o'clock. Good news is free on-site parking. And again, you know, it's the Orlando Science Center. Don't forget, business casual dress. So you don't need to come in a 3-piece suit, but
don't come in your Crocs and your painting shorts.
Exactly, because you could get an on-the-site interview. You really want to show off your best, and it was busy last year, so plan to get there early.
FLJobsNow.com. Ross, what's coming up for thoughts?
Guys, I've been thinking about this ever since I've met you.
Uh-oh.
We have such different experiences in life, and I am curious to see what things you guys have gone through experience-wise compared to things that I'll never feel. I
like that.
You guys have experiences that I will never be able to absorb and go through.
And we'll be glad to share those with you.
And it's vice versa.
Okay, we'll do that next.
As if cool pics and stories weren't enough, we also have prizes. Real Radio 1041 on Instagram is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Authorities now on scene of an accident on the beach line right at Boggy Creek Road that's taken up 3 lanes of traffic. Avoid this area or prepare for some heavy delays. We're still seeing a slow ride eastbound I-4 between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535, as well as westbound between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Want to save 50% on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order during Blindster's extended President's Day sale. Hurry, sale ends March 1st. Blindster.com.
Man, Jim here for my friends over at Solar Bear. Last year in Orlando, they jacked our utility rates 3 times, and they're thinking about doing it again. You can stop going along with those rate increases because now's the time to go solar with Solar Bear, the #1 solar installer in the state of Florida. These guys can help eliminate your power bill in 2023. Not to mention, Solar Bear is the highest rated and reviewed solar company in the state. They're also locally owned and operated. That means no subcontractors. All you have to do, just simply visit solarbear.com today and get your free estimate. See what they can do for you. Check it out even better. Right now, 0 down, 0% interest and no payments for 12 months with credit approval. Say goodbye to your electric bill, but say hi to Solar Bear. SolarBear.com.
Real Radio 104.1 presents the Ocoee Music Festival March 10th and 11th at Bill Breeze Park, brought to you by ePass. It's a free weekend celebration featuring live performances from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Night Ranger, and the Mavericks on Friday, and Chris Jansen and Nico Moon on Saturday, plus many more. And did we mention it's absolutely free? Get more info now at realradio.fm/events.
I love going on double dates to McDonald's. And by double, I mean twice a day. And by dates, I mean quality time with my choice of a savory sausage biscuit or sausage McMuffin paired with hash browns for $2.79 in the morning. Then sneak away for either a delicious McDouble or McChicken with small fries on the side for $3.69 later in the day. Who needs romance when there's McDonald's? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid when product served.
No matter what I get, it's 20% off every day when I spend $1 on the McDonald's app. So yesterday was my please the whole fam on the way to the game meal. Today is my finally get them to stop asking, are we there yet meal. Who knows what tomorrow will be? Maybe a delicious crispy chicken sandwich all for myself meal. Whatever it is, it's a win. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through December 31st, 2023 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. McD app download and registration required.
I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we got Justin $100,000.
Well, I was in a motorcycle accident, unfortunately. You guys were able to get me set on my feet to where I don't have to worry as much about finances. Injured on the go, just call Mo.
Prospective client may not obtain same or similar results.
Unexpected expenses don't exactly come with an installment plan.
What if they could? An Amscot installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back. Amscot, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Skid Row and Buck Cherry together. The Gang's All Here tour. March 28th, 8 p.m. inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com or HardRockTampa.com. Skid Row, Buck Cherry, Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Tools Ace Hardware has everything you need to set up that perfect space outside to cozy up with your friends and family while the weather is cool. Tools Ace Hardware has the best brands and grills from Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Napoleon. And now Tools Ace Hardware carries Uni pizza ovens perfect for making handcrafted fire-roasted pizzas. Get it all assembled and delivered to your home for free when you spend $3.99 or more on grills or patio furniture at one of their 12 Central Florida locations. Or shop online at acehardware.com. Tools Ace, the backyard place.
Hi, I'm Octavia Clausman. My dad is attorney Glenn Clausman, who helps people with their injury claims. My dad really cares about people. His clients have his cell number so they can call him anytime. At home, at night, I see him working on their files. He talks about how his clients' injuries have affected them and how he tries to help. He really cares. If you have an injury claim, you should call my dad, Glenn Clausman. Call 407-917-1718. He'll give you his cell number. Glenn Clausman at KLAUSMAN Office, Winter Park.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Best price the first time. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Got to find a reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We deeply appreciate that, as we do every single day.
Yeah, we do.
I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. Speaking of Ross, let's get some thoughts.
It's weird.
Don't need to wake up.
It's funny.
Because my cake is already out.
Sometimes. It's Ross. Spelled like sauce.
Nice kicks.
It's Ross Thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wore shoes to a non-competitive shoe competition. Also a non-existent shoe competition.
You wore your competition sneaks.
I don't even want to talk about that. It's arguably the dumbest thing I've ever done working
to a
here.
non-sanctioned sneak event.
I want to get deeper on Ross Thoughts. I can't.
Oh, yeah, let's get deep, dog.
I'm talking.
Let's jump into the crevice.
Foot long deep.
Let's get into the fjord.
In the fjord. Yeah. We need.
Let's shoot the canyon.
Let's shoot the canyon.
Shoot the canyon.
Jim is about
Oh, my God.
it. Let's get going.
That's bigger than a gap.
Let's sink into the abyss.
I think it is awesome how time works. How time works is how people who are younger than me are going to have a wildly different experience when it comes to life, because that's how technology works. We are creatures of our surroundings, and our surroundings change all the time. In the last 100 years, what buildings have gone up and what buildings have gone down. What I'm trying to get at is that you guys have experienced stuff that I never will.
That's right.
And I also, on the tail end of that statement, have experienced some things that you guys never will.
I think that's going to be harder for you to pull off than ours.
Now, some of these things that I like, great example. I briefly talked to you guys a little bit before the show, and I was wondering, you guys never had anime kids in high school.
We did not have anime kids in high school.
That is mind-boggling to me. I think that is so...
What's an anime kid look like?
I don't know.
You know an anime kid when you see one.
Really?
That's how confident I am when it comes to anime kids.
So if I Google anime kid, it'll show me what one looks like?
Yeah, you're probably going to see like a wristband.
Okay.
You're going to see a kid with a wristband that has like a Naruto symbol on it, maybe like a cloud of some sort. Like, anime kids are a thing. They have like high def Dragon Ball Z bowling shirts, like button-up shirts. They look like Tommy Bahama shirts, but for virgins. In a different room, that joke destroys. Because you guys aren't aware of anime kids, you know?
You got to be careful when you type that in, by the way.
Yeah.
Very careful. Delete.
You back on hentai?
Delete history.
Hentai?
Delete.
Hentai.
Okay.
And yeah, sure, it's a good thing that you mispronounced it. Because that's okay. What was that for you? Or just in general?
Could be.
You're getting real handsy with that damn buzzer there, Jack.
Really hentai-y.
Very. Very. So you guys never experienced anime kids. Here's another group of people that I guess these are really more so in your formative years, middle school, high school, right out of high school.
That's fine though, because you're right. I've never experienced. I have, even at 55 in anywhere, I've not experienced that. Even hanging out with my own kids, I've never experienced any one of their kids were anime kids.
Oh, they're out there. Usually, your kids won't be friends with anime kids because anime kids are only friends with like Vegeta.
Okay.
An anime character. My bad. Lost you guys on that one.
I thought that was virgins.
Not a term. It wasn't Latin for vagine. It wasn't. It's just a...
Sounds like an oddly delicious cracker.
Yeah. A Vegeta cracker.
Yeah, cheese on Vegeta.
So then you brought up something that I never experienced. Do you remember what you brought up before the show when I asked you about this?
Like a person?
Just like there's so many times where entertainment becomes like a trend, so much so that all of a sudden it becomes people's identify. You know, that's how they identify.
Yeah, you never dealt with yuppies.
Never dealt with yuppies.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, you never dealt with yuppie kids with their boat shoes and their Docker pants and their tucked in Izod shirts that had the collars popped and their douchey hair and their douchey sunglasses.
Young urban professional, for those who don't remember the acronym.
Yeah, but what do you call the frat boys?
Yeah,
those seem to be constant,
but those are
right?
bros.
Yeah, those are more bros. That's not exactly
but those are something that transcends these generations.
Well, the hippies of the 60s became the yuppies of the 80s.
Right.
That sounds like a really...
And hippies an interesting thing, too.
Yeah, because they were against everything that the yuppies stood for, but then I guess when that cashed.
Yeah, but hippie is... Now, you guys have hippies, right?
So that's the thing. I think hippies are a really weird thing.
Yeah, that's a weird...
Did you guys call them hippies when you were in high school?
Yeah.
I've never called anybody a hippie ever in my life.
Yeah, hippie was just kind of a bohemian lifestyle where they didn't really care about anything.
Lots of debt.
Lots of debt. Weren't
Body hair.
Not very reliable.
Lack of hygiene.
Very emotional.
I'm jealous. I'm kind of jealous that you guys got to experience yuppies because in life, my number one goal is trying to experience as much as life has to offer. And that was such a massive part for how long? 8 years?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of my high school thing, we started getting goth.
So
goth
you got
kids,
goth.
like an 85 goth kids started coming around. We started, and even
I was a goth kid.
Even in Palatka, we had a few goth kids. Yeah,
Dad was a goth kid.
All black.
Oh yeah, I was an art major. It was required you put paint in your hair and wear all black and believe you're going to die alone in the rain.
Yeah.
While you smoke your clove cigarettes.
That wasn't in the private.
Oh, you gotta have the clove.
Gotta have the clove, man.
I'm going to die alone in the rain.
You have to read Nietzsche.
Hello.
We're born alone, die alone.
Clove cigarette, or I guess they're not cigarettes or whatever.
Yeah,
No,
it
they
is.
are.
It was cigarettes. With,
Okay, all right.
They're delicious. Left a little ring of sugar on your lips.
I just remember that being a debate like almost they're like little small cigars, and that was like whatever. But with clove cigarettes, were those like super popular?
Oh, in the 90s, you could not go into a club without smelling a clove cigarette.
That's so cool to me.
Yeah, that was a big deal for about 3 years. Clove cigarettes were a big deal. And then, of course, the news hit, they're putting spots on your lungs.
Well,
and
they
then
are
it just
the
kinda
most.
went out.
They are really dangerous
Yeah.
because they trap moisture in your lungs.
I just remember when,
unlike regular cigarettes, which are so much better for you. Sorry, Ross.
So someone smoked a clove around me when I was in high school, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, that sucks! Put that out. What is that?"
Oh my God, you could not walk into like Visage or any of, or Oz or any of the clubs downtown without just the thick smoke of clove cigarette lurking in the air.
And then you guys had like a goth group.
Well, there were, if you were a goth kid, you did the whole black thing. You listened to like
the
Smiths, and the Cure, and bands like
Bauhaus.
that. And then you were sad.
So
Reb.
The Cure was goth music.
Well, you see Robert Smith, right?
Yeah.
That's
emo
that's
stuff,
it.
yeah.
I just when I think of goth music, I'm not thinking.
You're
like,
thinking Bauhaus.
Well, I mean, any
Bela
of that.
Lugosi is dead.
Yeah, I'm thinking double bass. We're getting into it, you know.
Yeah, goth was it's just sad, a little bit more morose.
See, I feel like after hearing that,
Meat
like
is murder.
Yeah, Peter Murphy and
if goth kids around your time were into the Cure, I find those goth kids like, I don't know, like kind of cute.
But the Cure then was
Happy music for goths.
Relatively, relatively heavy back then. There was some other stuff too.
But that was happy music for goths.
I tell you a movement that I missed out on that you probably had that happened like 87 to like maybe early 90s was the punk movement.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have any punks in Palatka.
I had some punks in my high school.
Yeah,
we did too.
Punks were a big deal when I moved to Orlando. That was the big movement was punks.
I always find it so funny. Like here are punks. Punks are a great example. Goth people are a great example. I don't care what anybody thinks about me.
Punk came before goth.
Sure,
so you were
whatever.
a Sex Pistols fan and a Johnny Rotten fan before.
But they have the same vibe. They have the same conundrum of like, I don't
Anarchy.
care. Anarchy. Whatever. Screw your rules. And then they dress in a very specific effort-taking way.
To match.
Yeah, right.
That's
To blend
the
in.
part
To conform.
that's the part that always cracked me up. I don't care. Let me try really hard on shopping to follow my own footprint that I want to make.
And the punks turned into some of the punks turned into skinheads.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. The punk movement kind of morphed into people who became just skaters and then people who went over there and became, skins.
And by all means, I say this as a good thing, but if you are younger in your car, you're in high school right now, here's something that you are experiencing that I don't think Jim did, any of us did. Gay people being an open out community in high school
Never happened.
Never happened.
I tell you, there was one openly gay person in our high school, and it happened to be the brother of our quarterback of the football team. And it just so happened this guy was 6'3", 240 pounds, and not 1 ounce of that was fat. And he would come to school in dresses and wigs, and nobody'd say a word to him because he would kill you, tear you in half. So he was the only gay guy I knew in high school.
And when I was in college,
we had more gay teachers than we did kids.
we had gay teachers, but they never said they were gay.
Well.
They just talked about their roommates. But one friend in college said he had something to tell me, and it took him weeks. And when he finally said he was gay, I was like, that's it? Man, you made me feel like you've killed people the way that you acted, like this was going to be the worst thing I'd ever heard.
You get your ass kicked in my high school for being gay. And I tell you what, I was telling Ross before the show, too. If you just wore an earring, like that in 1985, that became like the thing is like dudes started wearing earrings, like studs or little lightning bolts or something like that. That would just get you beat the hell out of.
That's wild.
Progressive Palatka.
Yeah.
So there was like 1 or 2 gay kids, I think, in my high school, but they weren't out. They didn't want all of that heat. I know in middle school, everyone thought one of my PE teachers was gay. And I remember asking, telling him, I loved this PE teacher. I thought he was great. And I thought they were saying that, kind of in a harmful way. Because I was like, no, man, this guy's awesome. He's just, super nice. And then I thought about a PE teacher being super nice, and I was like, he's probably gay.
Yeah.
He's definitely gay. But nonetheless, enjoy your time. Enjoy those moments. They're not forever, even whether it be small or big. I just thought it was fascinating.
The fact that I look at you, and I think to myself, you're 33?
Yeah.
be 34 in
July.
So you're not that far away. You've never used a phone book.
Never.
You don't know what a phone book is. You never had to use the rotary dial to look up a number. No, we, the three of us, remember calling 411 because that was called information. So if you wanted to know a phone number, you called 411 and said, "Can you give me this phone number?" And they would give you the phone number. And then charge you 10 cents to connect it if you wanted.
How about calling and speaking to the operator?
Oh, yeah.
Dial 0.
How about this? When you would want to go to the movies?
Yeah, I did do this.
You couldn't go online and look at the movies. You had to call the movie theater, and they had a recording that would tell you the times and what was playing.
Here's movie line.
It would take a week to listen to it.
Liar, liar at 5:10.
That's it.
5:45.
That's it.
6:15.
Wow. That's good that you got to experience that. That's awesome.
Those
drive-in theaters
are your Ross thoughts. Yeah. I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. TK Law, our friend Ray Trinley up next here on the Jim Colbert Show.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
We're still looking at problems eastbound on the beach line right near Boggy Creek Road from a crash taking up 3 lanes of traffic. Avoid this area for now. Eastbound travel on I-4 is still heavy out of Polk County between U.S. Highway 27 and 429 and also between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. Westbound to Busy Ride 2 between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If cold candidate calls aren't turning into hot hiring leads, then you need Indeed. Because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Man, here in Central Florida, if you don't have an AC company that you can lean on, you're in big trouble. For me and for Ross and hundreds of Central Floridians, that's Mills Air. And it's important that's at a company that has integrity. And of course, Leon Mills at Mills Air started this company over 30 years ago with just one van. It was just him. But now hundreds, and they're ready to go to take care of you wherever you are. Let them use that 30 years of experience to keep you nice and cool. That preventive maintenance plan is an absolute must, and it's right now that you should be doing that. Their techs can service all the brands. Don't worry about what kind of AC you have. Mills Air also a Carrier factory authorized dealer. That can mean up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and certainly turn to the experts over at Mills Air. These guys are awesome. Family owned and operated, and they treat you that way as well. It's 407-277-1159 online, millsair.com.
Divorce? Call Trinley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Got a penny? Because this week only, that's all you need at Rent-A-Center.com. Through March 4th, shop brand name furniture, appliances, and more. And just 1 penny pays your first week on any new online agreement. Only at Rent-A-Center.com. Rental purchase lease transactions. Offer valid on new online agreements from February 26th through March 4th. 1 penny pays for initial rental period until first renewal up to 12 days. Offer will not reduce total cost to own. Ownership is optional. Participating locations only. Visit Rent-A-Center.com for details.
The car market went crazy high during COVID, then it came down crazy hard, and now I believe it's coming back up. Call me crazy, call me a gambler, but I'm buying cars higher than I was a month ago because I think that they're firming back up. The highest price of the year of the 30 years I've been doing GiveMeTheVin.com is spring, and spring is right around the corner. Sell me your car at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Today's Central Florida job market is more competitive than ever. But don't be discouraged. Attend the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair, March 1st at the Orlando Science Center, and connect with over 70 recruiters.
Some even offering on-the-spot interviews. Your next career is right in front of you.
Florida Jobs Now Job Fair, March 1st from noon until 4 at the Orlando Science Center. And parking is free.
Get more info at FLJobsNow.com. Presented by SeaWorld and Aquatica.
Tools Ace Hardware has everything you need to set up that perfect space outside to cozy up with your friends and family while the weather is cool. Tools Ace Hardware has the best brands and grills from Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Napoleon. And now Tools Ace Hardware carries Uni pizza ovens, perfect for making handcrafted fire-roasted pizzas. Get it all assembled and delivered to your home for free when you spend $3.99 or more on grills or patio furniture at one of their 12 Central Florida locations. Or shop online at acehardware.com. Tools Ace, the backyard place.
Just come out, just come out. The man when you're in trouble, car accidents, slips and falls, he's the only one that you should call. Just come out when you're injured on the go.
Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
On the podcast, The Last Soviet, Lance Bass from NSYNC shares his own experiences of astronaut training in Russia. Yes, that's true. And tells the story of the final cosmonaut, a man trapped in space while his nation crumbled to the ground.
His name is Sergei Krikalev. He's a Soviet cosmonaut, and he's manning the world's only space station, the pride and joy of the USSR.
Listen to The Last Soviet on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Camping World Stadium March 4th. Brought to you by BKT Tires, Circle K, and your local Ford dealers. You have to see it live, so lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Experience Magic together live at Amway Center on Tuesday, March 7th when the Orlando Magic take on the Milwaukee Bucks. You don't want to miss one of the biggest matchups of the season. Get your tickets today at orlandomagic.com.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all.
iHeartRadio.
Access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's Ryan Seacrest. I go by the name of Charlamagne the God.
Hi, I'm Ellen Kay.
Bobby Bones here. Hola, soy Enrique Santos.
Access to all of the best free curated playlists.
My favorite music. The best songs.
A little bit of everything.
Access to all of the great podcasts for every interest.
The Stuff You Should Know podcast. The Daily Show podcast. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
And best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah. We like it when you watch. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, how's it, Ohana? Oh, yeah. Talk about eating disorders on this Monday. Yep, I could tell you a lot of stories. Go to some luau's in Hawaii. Look at brother sisters chowing on Hawaiian food. Oh, brother, Hawaiian Island's full of eating disorders in the right way. You would love them, brother Jim. You would love the cuisine out there. Aloha.
All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks again for tuning in on this beautiful Monday. Get this week started off great with a beautiful weather. Going to have weather all week. It's going to be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Going to cool down a little bit later this week, but it's going to be nice and warm. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is as well.
Hey there.
And Ross.
Movie phone.
You guys give it up every single Monday. We talk to this gentleman. It's TK Law, one firm for life. Office is up in Altamont Springs. It's the great Ray Trindley.
Yay!
Yeah! Big Daddy, what's going on?
I'm living the dream.
Are you? Good suit. Did your pants stay intact today?
So I actually do have an update on the pants.
Do you really?
I had the tailor come out to the office, I think it was Thursday of last week.
Do you?
R.I.P.
Oh, they're all done.
Yeah, they couldn't fix them.
Wow, boy, that was a hell of a rip.
It was a massive blowout.
Yeah, but
if you ever seen an 18-wheeler tractor trailer tire blow,
Yeah, that's
it was
what
kind
I
of
like.
like that. You
Don't
know,
get a shotgun wound.
straight out of a comic cartoon. It was pretty bad.
But very subtle flex there. Did you catch it? Not only does he have a tailor, but the tailor comes to him.
Oh, yeah.
In-house tailor.
I like that. In-house tailor.
Well, and actually, it was fun because I haven't seen him since COVID. And, with COVID, they stopped doing that stuff. It was all like virtual and, iPads and stuff like that.
Kind of hard to sew through Zoom.
That's right. And so, I stopped ordering suits during that time. And so I was like, well, I guess it's time to do it again.
Yeah. How often do you get one?
So I almost never throw anything away. So I've got a pair of running shoes. So I ran my first half marathon at 18, and I still have a pair of those shoes.
Oh, buddy, you're a hoarder. You're so adorable.
So my wife would also agree with you.
You have a weird sentimental connection with stuff like that, don't
I
you?
do.
I do as well, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't hold on to stuff like that, but I do have a weird sentimental. I'll tell you what I have. I have the last lighter my mother owned.
So
the last cigarette lighter she owned, I have.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, same here.
So for this pair of shoes in particular, I was training to go to the military academy. And so like every day I was running in these shoes in preparation for that. And it was such just a pivotal moment in my life that like I look back on it and be like, it sucked. There was a lot of puking on the side of the road.
A lot of inspiration in those shoes, though.
Absolutely. And so I look at them and they're all torn apart.
Oh, yeah.
The glue's all completely done. They're all worn down. But I do have a sentimental. So anyway, this is one of the first things that I've bought of substantial value that I'm throwing away. And it's it's a hard.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
Hard pill to swallow.
Do you have a lot of boxes? Because that's where I can get a little hoarder-ish.
So,
like you buy an Xbox and then you keep the box.
Oh,
that
it's
the
weird. You
Xbox
do that
came
as
in.
well.
Oh yeah,
everyone does.
Yeah.
So
I
not everybody. I think that's a dude thing.
You do
My
that for
wife
the first year.
My wife cannot wait to eject all the stuff that it comes in. She throws the box away so fast.
So I actually
I
have
keep
a
'em.
specific place in storage for those boxes. and
Hold on. You have a storage unit for empty boxes?
No, a place
storage
in
in
the
his home.
storage unit.
Oh, okay.
Place in the storage unit.
Okay.
Listen, I told you about the Christmas thing.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
It's like 10 foot tall and like 8 foot long, just the Christmas decorations. Then you've got Halloween, you got
my God.
Valentine's, you
I
got.
love it.
Yeah, do you?
No.
He knows how to call you
I
out.
love it because it's you.
Yeah.
It's not me.
So anyway, but there's a specific place for those boxes, and I usually keep it for about a year. Usually there's like a 1 year warranty.
Yeah.
Return it with no questions asked.
I have boxes in my closet that are stuff like shoes. I bought my wife bought me a pair of Johnston and Murphy shoes.
Oh, those
pretty
shoes,
nice
yeah.
shoes, right? And I kept the box, and I don't know why, because the box was so nice.
Yeah, you're not going to make a diorama
No,
out
I'm
of
not.
it.
I should give it all to Deb, actually.
No.
You know what I will do,
Cigar
though?
boxes are empty.
I was gonna say cigar boxes, liquor bottle boxes, like those are boxes that are fairly rigid
and they're cool.
and they're great for shipping things. If you ever
Yeah.
need to ship,
Yeah.
not that I'm recommending anybody ship tobacco or alcohol across state lines.
Right.
But if you were
save.
to
You
ship
said
something else,
Yeah, you said use the box. I mean, you were safe.
yeah, use the box.
All right,
Yeah.
407-916-1041 here with Ray Trindley from TK Law, One Firm for Life. Altamont Springs is where their offices are. Couple of things before we get into what you want to talk about, the Alex Murdaugh case, because I actually just started watching that Netflix series, which is odd that the case is still being litigated, but yet there's a television show about it already.
Right.
Yeah.
I told my wife not to watch it and not to tell me about it until after the trial's over.
Yeah, because there's a lot of moving parts in that thing. There are like 4 or 5 dead people going back 3 or 4 or 5 years.
That's what I've heard.
There's a trail of all kinds of fun stuff. That's common knowledge now because it's everywhere. This thing,
Right.
every day we have the television on here in the studio, and 90% of the time it's Murdaugh stuff.
Right.
But this is about Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey. Now I don't know if you remember, he has this thing called the Wheel of Fugitive.
Yeah, you don't want to be on that wheel.
You don't. He spins it, and it's got some names on there, and it's a whole fun thing trying to bring attention to to what the police department's doing. There are parts of this I like, and parts of it I do not like because I would rather you just do the policing part and leave the TV part to TV people.
Sure.
That kind of irritates because you get yourself in situations like this. Because what happened was he spun the Wheel of Fugitive a couple of months ago, and it landed on a name, and he said this fugitive, and the guy was not a fugitive. The guy was actually in jail.
Right.
And the guy sued him because I think he was about to get out, and it cost him his job. Because the employer heard about it, and it cost the guy his job.
Did the employer know that he was in jail?
No, the employer found out that he was, or thought he was a fugitive, but he was
Okay.
not a fugitive. Actually, I don't believe he was in jail.
Okay.
Maybe I got that wrong. But he was, and he did lose his job because of it.
I think he already did his time.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly what it
okay.
was.
Yeah, it makes a little bit more sense.
Right. And then he lost his job. And then the Brevard County courts, his attorneys, I assume, well, would the county provide him attorney?
Usually the county attorney, yeah.
That public officials are, quote, absolutely immune from defamation claims for statements made in the course of their official duties.
That's the key, yeah.
Under Florida case law, regardless of whether the statements are true or harmful. And it actually goes on to say, even malicious. It could be false or malicious. So theoretically, a sheriff, whether it be Mina, Ivy, Chitwood,
Judd, come on, don't forget Grady.
as long as they're in their uniform and making a public statement, they can say whatever they want, and you have no recourse legally.
It's not interpreted quite that broadly.
Okay.
Obviously, they are argue it's that broad, but it's in the official course and duty of their job, right? So there is case law about what that means and what that doesn't mean. So, for example, one of the things that they talk about is securing a crash scene. Is that part of their official duty? Absolutely, right? So that's one of those things that, really the head sheriff shouldn't be doing that, but if they are doing it,
right,
and they say something or do something, that's immune from prosecution. I don't know if the wheel of fugitives falls under that category because, yes, his job is to find fugitives.
But it's not to be on TV doing a game show.
But that's more of a political stunt.
Right, yeah, I agree with that as well.
And I think that is probably where, if the court decides to push back, that was for your political benefit, not for your job as sheriff. The sheriff doesn't need to do the wheel of fugitives.
Right, it says, quote here, a sheriff is absolutely immune from suit or for defamation if he chooses to make a public statement accusing a community member of committing a crime, even if those statements are alleged to be false or malicious. So theoretically, a sheriff could get up in front of the podium, in front of a television camera, and accuse Jack of something that he knows Jack did not do, and is immune from prosecution for doing that.
For defamation. Now, there are other legal problems that could potentially stem from that, right? So, as a constitutional officer for the sheriff, he still has an obligation to protect the community. And if he violates that, he may run afoul of a different law, but for the prosecution of defamation, that would be correct. So basically, Jack doesn't put money in his pocket, but the courts in the legal system may have a way of retribution against him that just doesn't benefit Jack, unfortunately.
Right.
That's the check here. That's the check is that you may get punished. It just may not be the person who you're talking about getting the.
So in other words, Jack would have no recourse against the sheriff, but the county itself could have recourse against the sheriff.
Potentially in the state.
And the state.
But
you would have to file suit with the state.
Well, the state
would have to file suit.
Well, let's just say the state could prosecute, so they can always
on
choose.
what though? He would have to complain.
Right. So
Yeah,
it'd be like any other crime. Essentially is that there's a complaint, a criminal complaint, and then there's a referral and for prosecution, and then it would get appointed to an attorney who would then prosecute it. And they'd probably have to get a statewide prosecutor because you're not going to want somebody from Brevard County prosecuting the Brevard County sheriff.
Right. So this entire case is based on whether or not the court agrees that doing the wheel of fugitive is part of his sheriff duties.
Bingo. That's the crux of it.
And
all.
if they decide that that's just a political thing that he does to get on TV and keep his name out there because that is an elected position,
right?
That he would be able to keep that job and keep his name out there doing stuff like this, where he's showing the community we're out there getting the bad guys off the streets, which I have no problem with, by the way. I just think these corny things wind up doing stuff like this, getting the station in trouble and causing situations that cost taxpayers money to defend silly stuff like this. Almost said the S word. To defend silly stuff like this and not have to worry about things like that. Now, again, it's getting a lot of attention for the program, so maybe he's winning here. But I just find it amazing that they have that broad swath of possibility against people who don't do anything. Now, again, I don't think the sheriff's going to hop up there and start blaming people for stuff they didn't do. This guy was a criminal at one point. And I don't really sympathize with him there, but that broad spectrum of the ability to do that seems a little out there for me.
There was a case, it was either Arkansas or Louisiana, like 20 years ago, and it was a similar type issue. And what they were doing, though, it was a political opponent that they were specifically targeting.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah.
And so that person ended up going to jail or prison for that. And I don't remember what state it was, but it's one of those places where they talk about, the official course of their duties and what does that mean.
Right.
And again, in the context of that case, and it's been a long time since I looked at it, they try to interpret it as broadly as possible, just like they're doing here. the court reeled it back in and said, well, hold on a second. Just like you're saying, this is a targeted assassination of a political opponent. That doesn't make any sense.
You can see that's not inside the duties either.
That's exactly it, right? That's where the court drew the line. Now, I think you brought up a really good point, which I didn't initially think of, is the idea that this brings more attention to these criminals, which maybe increases the likelihood that somebody's going to, report something, call crime line or something like that. So, I think you make a really good argument that, hopefully if Sheriff Ivey is listening, he's sending over to his attorney, because I think that's a really good point, is that, even if it's not a primary duty, if it helps me do my job, which is correcting these,
it brings attention to the fugitive,
That's
so
right.
possibly it could get somebody incarcerated that needs to be off the streets.
And I think that's a very compelling. How believable is that too? That's a credibility issue.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. And I did want to ask about an update. So my dog situation.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting situation because I'm this close.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
And I'm holding my hand an inch apart. I'm this close because here's the thing. I have the ability to call this company out by first and last name. They can't do anything to me because everything I said about the situation is true, and we have all of the paperwork to back it up.
Yep.
We have all the correspondence from them texting us. We have all the correspondence from Ray and their insurance adjuster who is dodging us right now. We're being dodged with this video. Obviously, they have video of the situation because they say it on their website.
Right.
They say we video everything on the website. We've asked for it a number of times. They stiffed us. First, they actually told us to get an attorney to get it. That's
Right.
exactly what we did. And then when our attorney called to get it, they started stiffing you.
That's right.
And started dodging you. So what's going to happen is by the end of this week, if we don't have an answer on Friday, I'm going to tell you exactly who it is. I'm going to go through the entire story word by word with names and locations and phone numbers and email addresses. All kinds of fun stuff for these idiots.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to do the right thing. And my dog, by the way, still has that weird little cough thing when she runs a lot.
It's a shame. And I think it's exactly what you and I talked about from day one, that first day that we spoke, is you expect somebody to stand up and do the right thing, even if it's not the popular
We did what
thing.
they told us, Ray.
That's
They
right.
told us to get an attorney, and we did it.
That's right. And, I don't have a lot of sympathy for people that abuse animals, and I would certainly, without the expert ability to say it's animal abuse, there's no rational reason as to why your dog should have had the injury that she had, for some type of trauma to the neck.
And no recourse. These guys have not offered us anything to give us any other answer. And the only reason that the hell's going to come down on them Friday if they don't give us an answer is because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They asked me to do this, and I did it.
That's right.
They're doing everything they asked. And so now Friday, we get to tell everybody who it is. So everybody can know where not to take their dog if they want to have anything happen. That's Friday. And if anybody out there is listening in Oviedo and you know who I'm talking about, if any of you idiots from that place are listening, you'll know Friday is the day. So you better get with your stupid insurance adjuster and send over the information or we're going to get loose on your ass. It's ridiculous.
It's one of those things, again, you expect someone to do the right thing.
Yeah,
And-
man. I mean, again, they asked us to go this route.
That's right.
We did not, we just said, hey, man, just tell us what's going on. Oh, no, if you want the video, you got to get an attorney. Okay, we'll get an attorney then. I got some friends.
Right.
Attorney calls. Oh, sorry. You're going to have to subpoena it or whatever.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been frustrating.
Yeah, it's been a mess. So be careful. If you got a dog groomer out there and your dog comes back with an injury, understand you're probably going to have a fun little fight on your hands. Unreal. Alex Murdaugh.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. This is one of the worst attorneys in the history of attorneying. He stole like $18 million from these people.
And almost without remorse. That's
almost. Did you hear about the phone call, the 911 call?
I caught clips of the 911 call.
So what you don't realize is when you call 911, the minute that you call, it's recording.
There's an automated recording system.
It starts recording. Even as it's ringing, you're being recorded. So if you think that when you call 911, it only starts recording when hey, 911, how can I, whatever, that's when they record, you are wrong. They start recording immediately.
That's good to know.
So what you could hear is this guy Murdaugh waiting for them to pick up, and the instant they picked up, he started going into his frantic, holy crap, I just found my kid and my
That's
wife
right.
dead thing. But before that, it was dead silent. And then boom, act.
Did you see the testimony today, though?
No.
So testimony today is probably the most earth-shattering bit of testimony for the defense. So after 2 weeks worth of or more of defense case, they had an expert come in, and it was a forensic expert to talk about the gunshots. And so the wife was shot with a shotgun, and the son was shot with a rifle.
Stippling?
Well, no, but they're talking about time and distance.
Right, yeah.
And so the theory that was espoused by this expert was that there were two shooters that were approximately this distance away, and that there would be no rational reason for one person to use two different firearms in quick succession. And so, on the final day of the defense testimony, or not testimony, case in chief, they dropped this idea that there's two shooters, not one.
And wasn't there a theory that he hired a hitman?
That
or
is-
hitmen? That's the theory?
That was a theory that I understand was going around. Maybe it's because of that TV show, which I have refused to watch on Netflix. But there is a theory that I've heard that there was a hitman that was hired. But the state's prosecution, apparently they had no evidence of it because there was nothing that was brought to the attention of the jury.
Right.
Where they focused on this idea of a hitman. And
the other thing, too, was the clothes. Like when they picked him up, or when there was a photograph that he took, or a video that was taken earlier that day, and it was just literally minutes before the shooting. And then when they came to the house to encounter him, he was wearing completely different clothing.
And his clothing was missing. Right. So
yeah, that's easy to explain.
Yeah. So, and then his testimony when he was on the stand, it's always interesting whenever somebody decides to put their client on the stand, because that's a really a huge swing for the fences.
And a guy that had so many strikes against him. I mean, this is a guy who has a lot to answer for. I wouldn't have never put this guy to be cross-examined.
He did a good job. Obviously, he's a trial attorney, so he understands the dynamic there, and he did a pretty good job. But, what was really interesting when they decided to put him on the stand was he admitted to all the financial crimes, to taking advantage of people.
Yeah, that ain't murder. I mean, you could get out of jail with doing that.
And that's exactly it. He focused on this idea, which is, I would never do this. I didn't do it. But if I did, and he didn't say it quite the way I'm saying it, I was on drugs.
Right, yeah, exactly. So that was his whole thing. He was stealing money because he had a massive pill problem.
Right.
And I guess his son had confronted him because he found a giant bag of pills or something. And then what he killed them for, the theory is to cover up the loss of all the money, because
Right.
the company had basically fired him.
Right. I think there was a life insurance claim that was
Right.
a part of it. And, what I also found was interesting was he was making millions of dollars, and he wasn't talking about an extravagant lifestyle. I mean, it was definitely a wealthy lifestyle, but making millions of dollars and then stealing millions of dollars on top of that,
Right.
which he obviously wasn't paying taxes on.
But you know what else, too? Yeah, it's weird about that. I mean, he supposedly stole $18 million. Do you know over what period of time was this?
I think his testimonies are around 2010 to 2017.
So in 7 years, this guy sold $18 million. You're telling me he did that many pills? Wouldn't that kill you?
Well, that's my point, right? Where did that money go?
Could you even do that much?
No.
There's no way possible. So where's $18 million?
That's my whole point, right?
Where is it, though? Where does they say?
They don't know. So that's my point, right? You're talking about contract killers or hiring a hitman to murder your family.
That checks out.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, but you're not paying those guys $1 million. I mean, I doubt you're paying somebody $1 million.
I've never
to do
hired a
this.
contract killer, but I don't.
I would think it's a little bit more expensive than an oxy.
Well, it is, Ross. But even then, if you paid him $1 million, it's still $16 million missing.
Well, you got to have an exit plan too, right?
Yeah, but buddy, I mean,
I'm not going to
on.
Google how much a hitman is. Not going to do it.
Yeah, I searched
Do it on
the
Deb's
anime kid on my phone while I was walking up, and I was like, you guys got me.
All right, hang loose there. 407-916-1041. We'll come back and talk to you a little bit more.
Make us think or make it funny. Just make it good. Get on board now for Last Call on the Jim Colbert Show. 407-916-1041.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Well, our warm weather continues. I don't see any major let-up in the future. Overnight, we'll see a low of 66, partly cloudy skies, a stray shower up in the Gainesville area. Tomorrow, the high 87, a breezy day, 88 on Wednesday, which is also March the 1st. Thursday, 89, and on Friday, windy, the high 90 degrees. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by GetYourOilChange.com. Show your car some love. Drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change today. Stay in the comfort of your car for a quality Valvoline oil change in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed. Save up to 50% at GetYourOilChange.com.
Daytona Supercross is more than the race that defines careers and the sound of revving engines echoing in your ears. It's more than the brutal competition on the gnarliest course that I've designed to date. It's your heart thumping from being closer to the action than you've ever been before. The atmosphere, under the lights. I'm Ricky Carmichael, and this is Daytona Supercross. Do you feel it?
You will. Saturday, March 4th at the World Center of Racing. Get tickets and trackside access at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with a synthetic oil change. O'Reilly Auto Parts has 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $35.95. Plus, get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people can recommend the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shop towels, drain pans, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number? Not me. Nuh-uh. Oh no, he's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
This Friday,
Play this with me.
Guy Ritchie, the director of Sherlock Holmes and the Gentleman, brings you the first great action comedy of the year. Don't miss Operation Fortune.
You dance, I'll play.
Starring Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, and Hugh Grant.
Game on.
Operation Fortune, rated R.
I'm good at cutting hair, but I never cut my budget too close.
Amscott's installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back. And no credit check. Amscott, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa. One jackpot is paid out every minute on the hottest slot machines and table games. With over $2 billion in jackpots paid out in the last year, you could be the next lucky winner. Seminole Hard Rock Tampa has over 800 rooms and suites, a luxurious rock spa and salon, award-winning restaurants, and an exciting comedy and concert lineup, including pool parties with world-renowned artists. With a variety of gaming, dining, and entertainment options, anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Here's the reality. The cost to repair termite damage could be in the thousands. Even worse, most homeowners' insurance won't cover the damage. The Massey Services does, with an unlimited termite retreatment and repair guarantee that covers the structure and the contents of your home. Massey provides a free termite inspection and creates a customized treatment plan. Then, they inspect every year to ensure you're protected. For peace of mind protection, call Massey Services, where you can always expect more and get it.
Oh, when my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And who wouldn't crave pizza with dough made fresh for a perfectly golden crust? 3 delicious, melty cheeses and savory toppings. I'm craving some Old World pepperoni right now. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Price and participation may vary. See store for details.
In St. Pete Clearwater, every day is a great escape. With 35 miles of white sand, there's no better place to get away. So let's explore the secluded beaches of Fort DeSoto or paddle our way around Honeymoon Island. Let's kick back, kayak, and catch crimson sunsets. Let's trade busy schedules for laid-back vibes. Let's make today and tomorrow a beach day. Let's shine. Plan your escape at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
With weather starting to warm up, it's time to update your outdoor space with Lowe's. Right now, start prepping with lawn essentials like fertilizer. Get Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed Fertilizer starting at just $32.48. And tackle outdoor cleaning with powerful electric pressure washers starting at just $99. Visit us in-store or online to get a head start on your spring projects today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 2/23 to 3/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, Orlando. Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
How else are you going to know what we're up to off the air? Find us and like us. Real Radio 1041 on Facebook is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show. Already in progress.
I get told I'm this all the time, Deb.
Kajagoogoo?
Too shy, baby. Too shy. 2 lines open for last call. Grab one of those now. 407-916-1041. Again, that's 407-916-1041. Make us laugh. Call back on the show. Something like that. A little comment. We like that.
Yeah, we do.
That's our little nightcap before we get out of here. Welcome back. I'm Jim, Deb, and Jack, and Ross are here along with our friend Ray Trenley. He is TK Law, one firm for life. Offices up in Altamont Springs. If you ever have an issue with estate planning, divorce, anything like that, like a situation we have with my dog groomer that obviously caused an injury to my dog. I didn't know where to go. Called Ray. Ray said, let's do some things.
That's right.
Gave me some options. I didn't even know were there. That's what he does better than anybody. So, again, that's onefirmforlife.com. Ray Trenley, offices up in Altamont Springs. Would you have a good weekend, by the way? Did you do anything fun?
Was with the kids this weekend, so I'm going up for a buddy's birthday this coming weekend. So I spent extra time with the kids this weekend.
All right.
Let's get it.
You want to go to New Hampshire?
Oh, where do you go in New Hampshire? Hanover?
Just outside of Portsmouth.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. One of the most beautiful states in the world. Up there.
Absolutely.
And it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like everywhere's a postcard.
Now, is this a rager of a weekend? I'm coming off of a rager of a weekend.
I actually got to figure out what the proper tire is for this trip, but we are going to a nice steakhouse. I was told that we were doing that. So
a Ranger steakhouse?
What happens after that, I don't know.
You got to make yourself a Borg.
I might.
You know what a Borg is?
I don't.
A blackout rage gallon? Like it's the newest thing. Kids take a milk jug and then fill it like half full with vodka and half full with something else, and that's their blackout gallon.
Oh my goodness!
yeah,
I couldn't be in high school anymore.
I know, man. I wouldn't survive.
Yeah, no, I would not either. All right, Deb, who do we have to thank today?
We want to thank Brandon Kravitz and, of course, attorney Friendly Ray Trenley from TK Law.
That's onefirmforlife.com. So easy to remember, by the way. You busy, by the way? Did you have a good 2022?
2022 is good.
Yeah.
2023 we're kicking off and we're pretty busy.
Really?
Pretty
Good,
busy.
good. Jack, we have Twitter polls today.
2 of them. One, should public schools be able to ban cell phones for students? What do you think?
Oh, I think that's going to be high. I believe it's going to be 73% say yes.
Not too far off, 65%.
My first guess was 68, too. I changed it.
Damn.
And then the other one?
The second question was, do you sleep with your bedroom door open or closed?
Okay, let's go around the room. Do you think Trenley sleeps with his door open or closed?
He sleeps with it open because he has young children.
He sleeps with it closed because he has young children.
Open.
Come on, Jimmy.
Closed.
Open.
Oh,
She nailed it.
Kids,
She
yeah.
nailed it.
What do they say, Jack? I say everybody. God, I'm in. I think it's 50-50. I'm gonna say 50%.
59% open.
Yeah. Ross, stand up.
No. However, this Thursday, check out Milk District Comedy at Barley and Vine.
Yeah, you're gonna be there. Maybe doing stuff.
I will be doing that.
Slinging some jokes.
Some new stuff.
Very
Support
good.
your local comedy scene.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Tim, last call.
Yes, I have a jab and a joke. The jab is that after 100 rounds of golf, I've only beat my father twice. And I need a Ross to say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the joke is, back to trivia, what did you call drug dealer back in the day?
I don't know.
El Chapo.
Oh, yeah.
Party mom, last call.
So somebody stole all of the toilets at the police station here in town,
and the cops have nothing to go on now.
Oh, God, so bad good. Mike, last call.
Jeff, I just got pulled over by the cops.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
What happened?
What? Well, they're asking me if I have a police record.
Do you have a police record?
Well, everybody's got Zenyatta Mandata.
Oh, I knew it was coming. No! He doesn't even know what that means.
I think he said Mayada.
No, he said
Zenyatta Mandata.
Yeah, that's an album by the band Police.
Yeah, gone.
Mike Larson, take us home. Last call.
Mike Buzzer Larson here. Trenley, keep your mic on because I'm coming at you.
All right, I'm ready.
I might have dementia. My
sorry.
family caught me stuck in the garage debating if I should or should not throw out a cardboard box. You know what I told them in my defense, Trenley?
What was that?
It's a really good cardboard box. Don't give me that box.
Yeah, don't get it.
Did his joke writer die?
I know.
I don't know.
I think he's coming after my boxes.
Yeah, I think he is coming after your boxes.
Yeah, I think that's Mike. That's how nice Mike Larson is. That was an insult.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Ray, have a great week, buddy.
Thank you.
Always good seeing you. Again, that's Ray Trenley, one firm for life. TK Law. Their offices are right there in Altamont Springs. And, of course, when it comes to good advice, he can give you plenty of it. Thanks again, buddy. It's always good seeing you.
Much.
All right, let's get out of here. Tomorrow coming up, we have What'd You Do That's New. We're going over Deb's Choice.
The morning show. Don't forget to watch it tonight because I doubt you have, is it Netflix?
No, it's Apple TV.
Apple TV.
It's Apple TV.
On your computer, so you got to watch it tonight, Jimmy.
I'll probably have to read the transcripts instead. On behalf of Deb, Jack, and Ross, and Ray, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the monsters of the morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a wonderful Monday evening.
Bye.
Oh, Lord.
A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Avoid eastbound travel on the beach line near Boggy Creek. We have a crash still blocking